Yeesh on out.
Hey, how'd y'all go this week?
7th grade.
You're not show up minutes. They don't understand, man. They don't understand. No, that's pretty good, right?
7th grade, everybody was like, oh, no. I was like, yeah, they look good. When I get grade, I was seeing it. I saw what they
Hello, Lion fans, and welcome to Greenville High School Football Act 2 on GEUS. Coming to you from Toyota Stadium, the home of FC Dallas Soccer Club. Tonight, the Lions will tangle with the Frisco Liberty Redhawks. I'm Bob Muty, and I'm alongside Bentley Love and Chris Mongual, who is filling in for Matthew Middleton. Best wishes to Matthew, who had a medical procedure today. We heard he came through it pretty good. The Redhawks are losers of 12 straight games, lost last week to Denison 31-10. The Lions got punched in the mouth, so to speak, 38-7 by Lake Dallas. And at the Lions' dad meeting this morning, I got a real revelation. I got to listen to Guy and John Earl, former NFL and CFL players, who gave a motivational talk to the Greenville team about their prison ministry. And Bentley, it was a thing to see, man. I'm telling you, I got to invite you and Chris to come next Friday.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it sounds like quite the event they've got going there.
Well, the Lions' dads provided the food. I thought the coach had bought it and provided it, but it was apparently provided by the volunteer dads. And many of these gentlemen are not really parents of the players. They're just interested community members who love football.
Well, Bob, that's pretty good because, the more community involvement they've got, the more support they can see, the better these boys are going to be playing.
No question. Well, both teams have come through their run-throughs, and they're standing waiting for the national anthem. According to the clock, we've got 7 minutes, 16 seconds to the start of the game, which will put us beyond the 7 o'clock scheduled start time, but we thought we were under the assumption it was a 7:30 game until Bentley looked up at the clock and said, "Hey, this might be a 7 o'clock start," and sure enough, it is.
Yes, sir.
Had a conversation with Coach Jackson this morning, actually this afternoon, while I was down at the GEUS office waiting for Chris and Bentley. Coach called me after I texted him, and boy, he said some interesting things. And in front of the boys this morning, after the motivational speakers, he says, "We're going to get better." He was just flat positive. He said, "You guys made some good plays on Saturday night. I'm proud of you." There was nothing negative at all, Bentley.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing because when you're a new coach not really a new coach, but a coach in a new situation like this, it's important to stay positive in front of the guys because you start getting negative and they'll start getting negative, and when everybody's negative, they don't play as good. So you got to keep the spirits up and keep playing as well as you can.
And I think we've got the national anthem. Nice rendition by the Liberty High School band, and this is just a beautiful facility to call a football game from. And as we look at the teams down on the field, this is Coach Jackson's second game as the head man here in Greenville. Just about 3 weeks that he's had to work with these coaches and players, and I think he's doing an outstanding job.
I think he is too, and he's the athletic director and the head coach here of this varsity squad. But we saw the JV squad win 38-0 last night, and so something's working right for those boys. So hopefully we'll see that work right tonight for these boys as well.
Greenville captains coming to meet the Red Hawk captains: Khalil Parker, Jonathan Sampson, and Ruben Enriquez are your three captains for tonight. All three seniors.
Yeah, and it looks like the four captains for the Red Hawks are going to be Trey Laurent, Caleb Cooper, Ace Jackson, and Weston Shelton tonight.
Tell you what, looking down on the field, Caleb Cooper looks like he must stand about 5'5". What do you think?
I think you're probably right. He's a short guy for sure, but I bet he's going to be fast, and I bet it'll be hard to take down.
Yeah, he's a running back, and he'll probably be putting up some yards for the Red Hawks tonight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It looks like they've got him listed as a linebacker too here. I don't know how much of that we'll see him play, but it'll be pretty interesting to see him go after somebody from the linebacker position.
Well, you were talking about Reagan Goggins last night, liking to hit people, and I met Reagan this morning at the Lions dad's meeting, and I thought, man, he's pretty small. And of course, I looked at the roster, and sure enough, he's 5'8", 140 pounds.
Yeah, he's
soaking wet probably.
Yeah, he's not a big guy at all, but he sure does play big.
Okay, we've had the coin flip, and I wasn't paying attention to who's doing what from which side, but it looks like Greenville's going to be going from our left to our right. Red Hawks dressed out in bright red jerseys with white numerals, very easy for us up here in the box to call. And the Lions are dressed out in their gray uniforms, all gray, with red numbers and red helmets. So overall, it looks like the Lions are going to receive. Last week, they won the toss, and they elected to receive. They did not defer.
Well, and I think that might have something to do with the higher-paced offense that Jackson likes to run here, and because it seems like you get out and you get running and you try to get as far ahead of the boys as you can, and no better way to do that than start off the game with the ball in your hands.
Yep, absolutely. Looks like we got Caleb Hale, and I don't know whether that's Williams over there or Aiden Lewis. I can't see the number.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. I can't quite tell either.
Short guys in front of them are Washington, and it's not Fifield over there. It might be Michelle. And here's a kick. Kick is a long one, taken by Hale at the 2-yard line. He's up to the 15, the 20, breaks a tackle, and makes his way up to the 26 or 27-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a whole group of them taking him down. It looked like number 4, Damon Benson, that made the first initial contact there for the Red Hawks.
Pretty well blocked, actually, for a Greenville return team. Maybe that's something that Coach Jackson is going to try to improve upon. That's been a weakness in the Greenville system for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a lot better to see him starting at the about the 27-yard line than the 17, we'll say.
All right, starting quarterback tonight for Greenville once again will be 6'3", 220-pound Anthony Johnson, the senior, with Greg Washington in backfield. Michelle is in front of them. Handoff to Washington. Washington's got some yardage off right guard. Picks up about 7 yards maybe.
Yeah, and it was a whole group there again that met him. They seem to be rallying to the ball pretty quick, but the Lions are definitely making some good headway.
Running that time behind Isaiah Wells at right tackle. Big old boy. Johnson drops back, finds Dadrian Payton in a quick screen. Payton's got loose on the far sideline. Still going. Now cuts back across the field. Watch out, Bentley. This might go all the way. He's being pursued. He breaks a tackle, and he's going down a near sideline. He's going to score a touchdown. I don't see a flag. Dadrian Payton with another big play.
Yeah, and we saw something like that last week, I believe. Second play of the game, 88-yarder, and that one wasn't 88 yards, but it's probably a good 60 or so.
He had to work a whole lot harder for that one than he did that one last week.
He did, yes, sir, and he pulled off a bit of a risky move there, cutting back, but it paid off for him in the end and worked out good for the guy.
Very nearly stepped out of bounds at the 40-yard line on the far side, and then all of a sudden cut it back, and holy mackerel.
Yes, sir. It was definitely close.
Okay, looks like Fifield might be wearing number 88 tonight. He gets the hold for Nick Just. The kick is up and good. Quick strike again for the Greenville Lions, and they lead Liberty's Redhawks 7-0 with 11:07 on the clock.
Yes, sir, and, that's like we were just talking about, Jackson liking to get out and run quick. That's no better way to start that than, was that 2-3 plays, and you're already up 7-0?
2 plays. Just like last week.
Yes, sir.
Completely different design, though. I mean, this was just a quick screen,
Yeah,
a jab step to the outside and then cut across. Good pass by Johnson. Dadrian Payton took it on in stride, and he just took it from there.
Yeah, and last week we saw him beat him with his legs and Johnson's arm there, but this one it was more of a short pass, like you said, and then kind of outsmarting him, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Pretty nifty moves that Payton showed us there.
Yes, sir.
Looks like our kicker tonight, Just apparently is not going to handle the kickoff duties as he did last week. He will handle the placements, PATs and field goals. I think this is might be Reagan Goggins. We're not sure, but he's wearing number 7, and Bentley helped me identify him. And he's a straight-on kicker, so that's a pop-over, taken at the 29 and downed immediately by one of the Redhawks. So they'll start right there at their own 29-yard line. Down 7-0.
Yeah, and tonight for the Lions up front on defense, you're going to see a couple juniors, some sophomores and seniors. Number 45, Cody Waldrop playing left end. Number 70, Mario Valentine playing nose tackle. 59, Khalil Parker playing right end, and then that's going to be it for the starting lineup tonight.
Looks like they might have Josh Brock in there right now, and they're lining up like they're going to go into 4-man front, which is different from last week.
It is, yes, sir.
2 men in motion for the Redhawks. That's a penalty, right?
I believe you're right, and it looks like the rest would agree with us on that.
I don't think you can do that. So a little miscommunication there by the backs for Liberty. That was Landon Ringadas and Ryder Pratt, I think. the quarterback for the Redhawks is Jacob Nickel. He's a junior quarterback. Now 2 men in motion again. I guess that's okay. Handoff this time, coming around our side, up to the 25, gets up to the line of scrimmage. He's bounced out of bounds. That's our little man, Caleb Cooper.
Yes, sir, and it was a good run. Had some good stretches there, but Lions were quick to get to him and keep him from gaining too much yardage.
So he gets back to penalty yardage. It'll be 2nd and 10, right at the 30-yard line for Liberty. They're huddling up, which is something we didn't see at all last week.
Yes, sir. Last week, both offenses ran pretty fast-oriented offenses.
It's Nickel with Cooper in the backfield. Got a wide split to the right. Both men in motion again, 15 and 17, same 2 guys. Another man in motion, flips to him. He's got some room around the right side. Penalty on the play. Still going. Nice recovery that time by, I think, Khalil Parker.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was Parker chased him down all the way about at the 35-yard line, but we'll see if that penalty brings it back.
Tell you what, he's a big man to be running a guy down that far down the field.
He is, but once Parker gets moving, he's hard to outrun, that's for sure.
Well, it was a great play by him, but this one's coming back. It's going to be a penalty against Liberty. That was Lincoln Daniel on that run, and it was a nicely executed play except for the penalty.
Yes, sir, and that's going to move them way back, about 5 yards, it looks like, about to where they were just a second ago.
Well, I think it was a spot foul, so it was probably a hold. So we're going to call it 2nd now and 7 to go for Frisco Liberty. We're at the National Soccer Hall of Fame here in Toyota Stadium, home of the FC Dallas Soccer Club. 2 running backs flanked nickel that time. Handoff to Cooper, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and he was met real quickly there by number 63, Tommy Stretch, and it looked like number 59, Khalil Parker, again on the play. And might have had a little bit of help from Mario Valentine, number 70 there.
Well, I met Valentine this morning. He's a good-sized sophomore player, just moved in from Dallas. 3rd, and we'll call it 7. Nickel looking to the sideline for a play. I don't see the play clock. It's down to 12, so he's got plenty of time. Looking over again, still not sure about what he want to do. He's looking downfield, finds his man. That's Pratt. And he's bounced out of bounds about the 39-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down yardage.
Yeah, and it looked like that was number 20, Jaden Gibson there on the play. And we called his name several times last week. He's a pretty good player there. Doesn't let him get too far after the catch. That's for sure.
That was Regattas on the reception. So it is 4th down in the yard, and it looks like Liberty's going to go for it. I guess they got nothing to lose.
Guess so. Yes, sir. It is still early in the game.
2 receivers wide right. Cooper next to Nickel in the backfield. 2 runners now move to the right side, so it's strong right. There goes Nickel. He's going to keep it, and he is stuffed, but I think he got enough to move the chains.
Yeah, it looked like he might have fallen just across the line, just far enough.
Was that Sampson in on that tackle?
Looked like it, yes, sir.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage of the Redhawks, so no huddle up this time. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Tried to draw the Greenville Lions off sides, and Stretch thought there was a penalty. He says, hey, just get back, you're okay. Man in motion, takes a flip, and he's hit in the backfield for a loss.
And that was Ruben Enriquez on the play there, and we talked about him a little bit last week, and he's a bit of a smaller guy, just standing at about 5'9", 185, but he sure does get through that line quick.
He's a good linebacker. I think he got some all-district mention last season, and that was a really good play. He just busted through like on a blitz and brought the ball carrier down for a 4-yard loss.
Yes, sir.
2nd and 14. Wide splits this time. Man in the slot. Once again, another man in motion. And yet another man in motion. Nichols drops straight back. It's a screen. Almost intercepted.
Oh, it looks it was close, but the refs are signaling that it hit the ground.
I think that was Jamorian Hamilton that almost came up with that one, the free safety.
Yeah, it was quite the play. He kind of came out of nowhere and almost snagged it, but not quite.
Probably an ill-advised throw that time by Nickel. So it'll be 3rd and 14. Lion defense stiffening here on the second series by the Redhawks. Beautiful night for football, especially compared to last week.
Yes, sir, no doubt for sure.
Okay, Nickel in the shotgun. It's a low snap, bounces back to him. He's under pressure. Parker's going to get him.
It's going to be
man.
all the way back at the 20-yard line.
Oh, and Sampson was very close to a late hit there. Great play by Parker, and Sampson was right there as well.
Yeah, and that's you can see the lines pumped up visibly so, and with good reason.
So 4th down, they're not lined up in a punt formation, but I'm sure they'll shift into it, or Nickel himself will just drop back and kick it. And it's a short punt, and he kicks it low. It's fumbled by Renner at the 45-yard line of Greenville. Breaks a tackle. He's at midfield, the 40, down to the 35-yard line, and inside the 35-yard line of the Redhawks is Daniel Renner.
Yeah, and it looked like he tried to maybe run over 55 Weston Shelton there, but wasn't happening. But some great yardage there on the play, no doubt.
Yeah, nice return. Really low kick by Nickel. Of course, when you're in that short punt formation, you got to get rid of that thing in a hurry.
You do, yes, sir.
Okay, we'll try to identify the guys up front for the Lions now on this go-round. Nick Just was wearing number 55, the junior center. And on the right side, we got Braden Maps and big Isaiah Wells. Nathan Michelle in this time. Pitches to Johnson. He's back. He's got a man open. Oh, he's trying to throw it back to Michelle and just overshoots him.
Right off the fingertips. Boy, that would have been a beautiful play if they'd pulled that off.
Little razzle-dazzle there early.
Yes, sir. You don't see that too often, but it's nice to see him mix it up a little bit and keep the defense guessing.
All right, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball is spotted at the 38-yard line of Liberty. Johnson hands to Washington. Washington breaks to his outside. Picks up a couple of yards off left side. Up-tempo offense here for the Lions. No huddling up for Greenville this year. Totally different from in the past. Once again, fakes a handoff. This time Johnson on the keeper, and he's got a first down.
And it looked like that was number 10, Tanae Kara Parker there on the tackle, and good play by both boys there.
Had Richard Medina, the big defensive tackle, in at the H-back that time. Quick throw, Fifield's wide open, and he steps into the end zone for Greenville's second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, and it doesn't get much better than that right there. 14-0 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and get to see Fifield there make a play, and we saw him have a couple chances last week, but nothing really come of it, so that's good to see early on here.
That's incredible. The Frisco defense was totally clueless. Nobody within 10 yards of him, and Johnson saw him standing out there alone, took the snap, got it to him, and now we go for 2.
And that was Fifield there catching it and looking like it was going to be a kick, but Fifield just took it and ran it on in for 2 points there.
So Jet Fifield picks up 8 quick points. And we get the big screen, so we get to watch it again. It doesn't come any easier than that.
No, it's just a beautiful play and a beautiful 2-point conversion there for sure.
2 touchdown passes tonight for Anthony Johnson. And he hasn't had to do very much. I mean, 2 short passes.
You're right. Most of the work's been on the receivers so far.
Yeah. Greenville up 15-0 and only less than 6 minutes off the clock. 6:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Greenville 15, Liberty 0. We'll see if it looks like Goggins is going to do the kickoff duty again. The Lions coaching staff has thrown us a curve tonight with these number changes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they get some different uniforms on, and it doesn't always, not always in the same jerseys, and looks a little different out there.
Well, it makes it tough on the broadcast guys, you know.
It does.
But I'm glad you recognize Reagan, and of course it's pretty easy to recognize Fifield. He stands 6'4", and he's got the big blonde locks. Here's the kick. Once again, it's taken at the 31-yard line. And the kneel down.
The fair
Lavender.
catch called by
I think it was Lavender or
Amajay Lavender, it looked like there.
All right, so the Red Hawks are going to start about the same spot they started their first series. Lion defense looking pretty good early. Not that the offense isn't.
Right. Yes. Yeah. They're both looking pretty good, and Red Hawks are hoping for a little bit of a different outcome from last time out. But as Lion broadcasters here, we're hoping for a little bit more of the same.
Absolutely. Did we get to the DBs on that defensive lineup?
I did not. The
okay,
DBs.
We'll get to them next after this play. Nickel under center this time, so a little change in the offensive look. He hands to Cooper. Cooper's got room this time, and he's almost dragged down, kept his balance. Nice run by Caleb Cooper.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a flag on the play, so we're going to see what that means, see if it's coming back or what. We see number 28, Ruben Enriquez, trot off the field, and he's one of the starting linebackers for the Lions, as well as Jonathan Sampson, number 33, and Jaden Johnson, number 23 tonight.
That's a holding call against Liberty, so that's the second penalty against the Red Hawks. So that's going to set them back after a really nice gain. Once again, it's a spot foul. So the ball is placed back at the 28-yard line. It'll be it'll still be first down and 13 to go. Caleb Cooper and Jacob Nickel are both juniors, but Nickel's quite a bit bigger. And there's a handoff to Cooper around the right side. He's got room, and he's got a first down and more.
Yeah, but that was number 8, Daniel Renner, and it looked like number 18, Jamarian Hamilton, on the play there, taking him down, and he got the first down, but it could have been a lot further, no doubt.
Nice run by Cooper. He's had consecutive runs now for first downs, one of them which was called back. So it's a first down at the 45-yard line for the Red Hawks. Strong left. Handoff to Cooper once again. This time, he's wrapped up after about a yard gain.
Yeah, and I can't quite tell
Sampson?
whose jersey that is. I think it is 33, Jonathan Sampson, that was on that play. And there wasn't really much there to stop him. He just got back there as quick as he could and took him down. Only a 1-yard gain on the play.
Well, I think the guys on the right side kind of slowed that play down. They held their blockers up and allowed Sampson to make the play kind of from behind.
Yes, sir.
All right, 2nd and 9. Red Hawks, like I said, red jerseys, black helmets, or black pants. Handoff, looks like a halfback pass, and it's overthrown. That was Reed Summers, who took the handoff from Nichols and airmailed it and overshot his receiver.
And that was number 7, Reagan Goggins, there in coverage, and he was right there but didn't have to do too much at all. That ball was just a little too far out of his reach.
A little razzle-dazzle from the Red Hawks. They were looking for Damon Benson, and he had a step on his defender. 3rd and 9. Lion defense trying to put a stop on the Red Hawks for the second time. Nickel looks to the side. Takes a snap. Man coming under pressure. He's found his man. I think that's Regattas again.
Yeah, and that was Renner, number 8, and number 3, Aiden Lewis, on the tackle there, taking him down. The Lions were in a little bit of trouble of potential late hit call there, but I think he got there just in time.
Yeah. That's the second time we've had a really close situation with a late hit, so the Lions are going to have to be careful. So that's a first down for the Red Hawks. Their second one on this drive. Ball now spotted at the Greenville 35 as the defensive line shifts over. Cooper around the right side's got some room. Sampson pressing him, and he bounces off one tackle and picks up about 7 yards.
Yeah, but again, that was number 7, Reagan Goggins, on the play, and we called Goggins' name quite a few times tonight, and with good reason. He, like we were talking about, how he's a little bit smaller, but he sure does hit hard.
Well, he's one of the DBs, and, you take a guy 5'8", and you put him up against a guy like Keontae, what was his last name
Henry.
last week, 6'3", 190. That's a mismatch big time. All right, 2nd and 4 for the Red Hawks as they're moving smartly now. Fakes a handoff. No, he gives it to him. And the Redhawks have got another first down.
Yeah, and he's taken down pretty quick there by number 18, Jamarian Hamilton, again on the play.
Reed Summers with the first down conversion there. Third consecutive first down for the Redhawks as they finally got their offense in gear here. 3:32 remaining, 3:22 remaining in the first quarter. The Lions lead 15-0. Under center this time is Nickel. Running back is deep behind him, 5 yards. Fakes a handoff, looking deep. He has a man open. Goggins is over there, as was Renner, and it was a short. Didn't quite get to the receiver, and nice recovery that time by Goggins.
Yeah, it initially looked like he might have had him beat, but he maybe stopped or turned around just enough for a second for Goggins to catch up with him, and worked out pretty well in the Lions' favor on that play.
It's 2nd and 10 for Liberty. 2:58 remaining here in the first quarter. The shade has completely engulfed the field and about halfway up the Greenville stand, so everybody over there is pretty happy. Nichols under center. Cooper gets the handoff, off right tackle. Encounters some resistance about 5 yards down the field, so it's going to bring up 3rd and about 5 to go.
Yeah, and that was number 18, again, Jamorion Hamilton, and number 28, Ruben Enriquez on that tackle there. As we see number 60, Josh Brock, and number 45, Cody Waldrop trot off the field there for a second.
Lion defensive starters are getting rotated in on a regular basis by Coach Sellers. Handoff to Cooper. Cooper around the right side, slips a tackle, and he's out of bounds right about at the sticks.
Yeah, might have gotten the first down there. We'll see here in just a second. It looks like the ref was signaling that it is, in fact, a first down. So if so, that'll give them a new set of downs and 1st and 10 for the Redhawks at the 20.
Excuse me, Bentley. Cooper's got some quickness.
He does.
He gets into the hole and around that corner pretty quick. And he sets up right now. He's about 8 yards deep from the center spot. Nichols under center, man in motion. Once again, handoff to, Cooper coming this way, and no, not that time. What a play defensively there.
Yeah, and it looked like number 9, Edwin Garcia, on the play there, making the initial contact, and we saw him doing a little bit of kicking pregame, but he can hit too, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't remember him being in the rotation last night, but that was a good hit, good form tackle. 2nd and 12. Shotgun formation this time. Now Nichols moves up like he was going under center. Now he backs back up. Cooper's on his left. 1:42 remaining. 2nd and 12. Nichols going to keep it. He had some room off left tackle and got pretty good yardage.
Yeah, and that was number 9, Edwin Garcia, again on the play there, but it looked like he had some help from number 33, Jonathan Sampson, and number 63, Tommy Stretch there on that play. It was the whole Pride Lions working together to take him down.
There we go. Another defensive substitution. It might be Jaden Gray in the game now at the left end position. 2 men moving from left to make it strong right. Nichols rolls right, got plenty of room, and a little miscommunication once again between him and his receiver, Trey Laurent.
And just barely missed him there. And if he'd just had that pass probably about a foot up, it looks like it would have been caught and been a touchdown for the Redhawks there.
Well, Nichols is struggling a little bit early here. And with 56 seconds remaining and a stoppage of the clock, it looks like the Redhawks are going to attempt a field goal. And this is going to be placed down at about the 17-yard line. So this will be a 27-yard field goal attempt from Reed Summers. Snap is good. Nope, it's fumbled a little bit, and the Lions block it, and it's picked up. So a little problem by the holder there. Just couldn't handle the snap. It was a little bit low, and consequently the field goal is unsuccessful. So the Lions are going to take over at their own 19-yard line.
Yeah, and it looked like Jaden Johnson there that recovered that fumble and was taken down pretty quick, of course. But we'll take take the turnover there.
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
one of the big boys might have been Stretch that actually picked the ball up because he's walking off the field. Mario Valentine had his arm around him like, way to go, big guy. All right, 1st and 10 for the Lions now. We got 3 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right. Johnson and Washington in the backfield. Nick just over the ball. Johnson drops quick back, got the quick pass to Dadrian Payton once again, and Dadrian puts his head down and busts forward up to about the 27-yard line.
Looks to be about a 6 or 7 yard gain. And Lions are going to line up and do it again.
Same formation, 3 receivers to the left. There's only 2 guys out there covering them. Washington gets the keeper, though, and he meets some resistance pretty quick. Not much going on that time.
Yeah, he, like you said, he got stopped pretty quick on the other side.
We got Xander Gonzalez and
I don't know if they're going to get another playoff here. They've only got 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think that's going to be in the quarter. All right, so here we are at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, and the Lions have a 15-0 lead after 1 quarter. We're going to take a break here and go back to Chris, and we'll be back here in just a minute. We're back. Bob and Bentley with Chris at the controls. Johnson hands to Greg Washington. The senior running back has a first down for the Lions.
Yeah, and it looks like that was number 22, Kieran Simon, there on the tackle.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage, here come the Lions. Nathan Michelle is at the H-back. Isaiah Williams switches far left in the slot. Straight back is Johnson, looking deep. Airmails it. He's got a man and couldn't make the reception. The ball was there. It was a catchable ball. Was that Payton once again?
It was Dadrian Payton, number 10 there, and it was right in his hands. It just slipped through as we see Payton trot off to the sideline.
Okay, tough miss there by Payton. I'm sure he feels like he probably should have gotten that one. So he's quickly substituted in after the long run. Here comes Washington with lots of room off left tackle. He's dragging a man, still pushing. 5 or 6 guys finally. Did they ever get him down? They just stopped him at midfield.
They did, and that was number 6, Lincoln Daniel, there on the play. And we see Daniel for the Redhawks play a little bit of both sides of the ball, some wide receiver and linebacker tonight.
Got somebody's towel down on the field. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Once again, Johnson straight back, under pressure, rolling right, looking downfield. He has a man, and that one's going to be, almost intercepted.
And that was number 4, Damon Benson there that almost snagged it, but luckily for the Lions, it just bounced off his hands there.
Yeah, the receiver was open. He had beat his man down the far side, but the free safety came over right in front, and Johnson's lucky that wasn't picked off. Hand off to Washington. Washington with room again, straight up the middle, got another first down.
Yeah, and it was number 8, Brian Chandler, that made the play there for the Redhawks, but not before a big gain by Washington.
The guys up front for the Lions are doing a great job of opening holes. Johnson straight back now on first down, looking for Fifield, overshoots him right close to the corner.
Just barely misses him, and Fifield slips as he gets out of the grass, but looks like he's going to be okay.
Jet Fifield, one of the better baseball players that come through the Greenville system. He plays a pretty good center field and does a little pitching. Hopefully his arm is going to be okay. Hand off to Washington. Washington pushing and moves forward about 6 or 7 yards. So it's going to be a 3rd and 3 for the Lions. Ball is going to be spotted at the 33-yard line of the Redhawks. 10:28 remaining here in the second quarter. Lions lead by 15. Hand off to Washington again. Big hole off the left guard, and Washington's got another first down. And a pancake block down there by Nick Just.
And it was number 22 making first contact there, Kieran Simmons on the play.
Looks like we're going to have a timeout for the Redhawks. I think Julian Sixtos is playing at the left tackle position next to Xander Gonzalez. So that's a change from last year or from last week's starting lineup. Because I've got a few different guys. Sixtos goes, let's see here, 6'4", 250, sophomore. Hey, we're going to take a break. Give us 30 seconds, Chris, to catch some water here. We'll be right back.
New, better, fast.
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service.
Okay, back here at Toyota Stadium. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Anthony Johnson drops straight back, looking downfield for Fifield. Fifield's got it for a touchdown.
And that's going to be Fifield's second touchdown in just the first half there. And last time he caught a touchdown pass, we saw him run one in right after for the 2-point conversion. So have to see if we see that again tonight.
Let's credit Anthony Johnson on a beautiful throw there. I mean, he put it where the defender just couldn't get to it. Defender was in pretty good position.
He was. You can't ask for much of a better throw than that. That was just outright beautiful, Bob.
Brings the score to 21-0 in favor of the Lions. They're lined up for a PAT. Let's see if Just gets to kick it this time. The hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good. Lions 22, Frisco Liberty Redhawks 0. We'll be right back after these messages from GEUS. Bob Muty and Bentley Love back here, and we got DC David Claiborne from the Hurl Banner right behind us. We've got the banter going here with a 22-0 lead for the Lions. Reagan Goggins with the placement. It's a really short kick, going to be taken this time at the 35. Immediately brought down is Caleb Cooper. Great coverage that time.
Yeah, and that was number 5, Kendrick Blakely on the play there, and he just kind of came in like a rocket and put him down real quick.
That's the way you want to cover kicks right there. Interestingly enough, they did not call a fair catch that time, but Blakely was right there.
Well, I'm not sure he had time to call a fair catch. He got there probably before he could have gotten his hand up.
That towel is still down on the field. Has that been there for about 5 minutes?
It has been. You'd think they'd be missing it by now.
Gee whiz, you'd think the ref will pick it up. Okay, 1st and 10 for Jacob Nickel and the Redhawks. Ball is placed at the 36-yard line of Liberty. Ball is fumbled. That was a funny snap there, Bentley. That just never got airborne.
Yeah, and I think that was definitely the right call to just fall on it. They had to take the loss, but if he'd gotten up and tried to get out of there, would have been a lot worse for him.
Yeah. Covered quickly by Nickel, and then he was quickly covered by the Greenville Lions. So that'll make it second, and we'll call it 12. 9:35 remaining clock running here in the second quarter. Once again, Lions off to an early 3-touchdown lead off the arm of Anthony Johnson. Senior quarterback looking pretty good. Another timeout here for Liberty. So we'll take 30 seconds and hear from Chris.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
Bob Muty and Bentley Love got the countdown from Chris, so we're ready to go here, and so are the Frisco Liberty Redhawks under the direction of quarterback Jeff Nickel. 2nd and 12. Nickel steps back, has room. Now he's got some pressure. That was Valentine putting the pressure on him, and he's going to get a penalty.
Yeah, and that intended pass looked to be for Lincoln Daniel, but with the pressure just wasn't quite there, and
Valentine just a little bit late, and we talked about a couple of late hits earlier, and this time Valentine gets flagged. So that'll be a roughing the passer call. So that'll result in a 15-yard penalty against the Lions, the first one called against Greenville tonight.
Yeah, and after that play, they're going to go ahead and pull Mario Valentine off the field for a couple plays and bring in Tommy Stretch to replace him at the nose tackle.
Well, Valentine busted in there nicely, and, when you get a shot, sometimes you feel like you got to take it. That one's just a little bit late.
Yeah.
Sophomore will learn, however. First down for after the penalty. Ball now up at the 49-yard line of Liberty, and Cooper's got it. And Renner runs him out of bounds on the far side, short of the first down, and there's another penalty. Now that's back-to-back, and I don't quite understand that when Renner had a hold of him. He was going out of bounds. It may be the second consecutive penalty against Greenville. Let's just wait and see here on the call. And Caleb Cooper is a real scat back.
He is. I'm not sure what the call is. I haven't seen the referee signal yet, but the flag is still laying on the ground.
Well, quickly, if the penalty was on Renner, he is quickly replaced by Caleb Hale. So clearly Coach Jackson doesn't tolerate penalties very well.
No, and I kind of expect that with how much he preaches discipline in the locker room and everything.
All right, 2 first downs by penalty, and it's 28-yard line is the spot, and
looked like number 60, Josh Brock, jumping off sides there and
knocked the center just back on his backside.
And
that may be the 3rd consecutive penalty against the Lions.
Yeah,
an offsides call.
Looks like there was a timeout called. My guess is going to be by the Lions after 3 penalties. Coach probably wants to talk with them a little bit.
I think probably you're right, and I bet he gets their attention fairly quickly.
While they're in the huddle live, we got a score for you. There's being Thursday night, there's not too many games going on, but West Mesquite has traveled to play Poteet at home, and right now Poteet is up on West Mesquite 7-0. So both teams started the season off with a loss, but after tonight, one team will be 1-1, and one team's going to be 0-2. So, kind of the same story for this game. Hopefully, we'll be the one that's 1-1.
You say Poteet's ahead?
Yes, sir. 7-0.
Okay. Well, at the meeting this morning with the players, Coach stressed the idea of the dress shirt and tie, which is something we saw at the pep rally last week, and we saw it again this morning. And there were several players who did not have the appropriate attire. And Coach mentioned it, said, I'm going to stay on this, guys, until everybody's got the shirt and tie on like we're supposed to have. So that's an example of the discipline. Okay, we're back at it. First down and 5 now. Cooper coming around the right side. He's got the first down. He's headed and bumped out of bounds. Sampson loses his helmet. But that's another first down. This time, they earned it.
Yeah,
Cooper.
no penalty involved on that one.
So the Red Hawks, courtesy of 3 consecutive 2 15-yarder and 1 5-yard penalty, have the ball now, first and goal at the Lion 8-yard line. See if the Lions defense can stiffen here. Those 2 receivers move again to the strong side left. Hand off to Summers. Summers trying to get the edge around the right side. He's got a little bit of room, and he's forced out of bounds.
It was number 33, Jonathan Sampson, and number 7, Reagan Goggins, it looked like on the play there.
Yeah, pretty good pursuit that time on Summers. We'll call it no gain, so second and goal from the 8. Good job that time by the Lions stringing that one out. Got some defensive replacements in there for the Lions. This time the Hawks go strong right. Nickel under center. Hands to Cooper, and Cooper is met at the line of scrimmage.
And he's just stuffed there by number 59, Khalil Parker. And, Parker is, well, I think we said this last week, but Parker is one of the leaders on that defensive team, definitely up front, and really the whole defensive side of the ball. Those guys listen and respect him in the locker room for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Parker might have been a first or second team all-district performer last year. And, boy, he was just like a roadblock right that time for Cooper. Of course, he outweighs Cooper probably about 60 or 80 pounds. All right, third and goal now. Still call it the 8-yard line. Strong left. Nickel keeps it himself, and he's stopped just inside the 5-yard line. Is that Enriquez on the tackle?
That is. Number 28, Enriquez, diving at the legs there. And, you hear coaches sometimes talk about hit him in the legs, and he did it, and it worked.
Yeah, that was a form tackle. So with 7:52 remaining, we'll see if the Hawks line up for another field goal or whether they're going to try to push this in from the 4. Looks like they're going to go quickly. Bickle under center. Hands to Summers. And Summers is stopped, I think, at the 1-yard line.
It looked like the helmet just barely missed the goal line there.
Really close. So good job defensively for the Lions, but now they're going to be starting in the shadow of their own end zone.
Yeah, and, it's awesome. It feels good for the Lions to have not given that touchdown up there, but, the offense is going to be sweating a little bit here.
For sure. I'm not sure we'll go to the pass on this one. What do you think?
I think you're probably right. Hopefully they can provide them enough coverage long enough because I have a feeling those boys will be fighting pretty hard to get through that line of scrimmage with a safety on the line.
99 yards to go for the Lions. They have a 22-0 lead right now against Liberty. Handoff is to Washington, and he's hit hard quickly. No gain.
Going to keep them right where they were, right on the 1. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Kind of a predictable call, but that time Washington didn't have any running room. See if Johnson decides maybe to fake it and keep it himself this time. Oh, very nearly a safety there. That might be a safety.
That might be a safety.
It is a safety. Wow, so the Red Hawk defense stiffens. And a good gamble on their part to go for it on 4th down. But, boy, I'll tell you what. Washington just didn't have anything to work with there, and the Lions give up 2 points to the Red Hawks.
And I think being the Red Hawks defense, knowing that they their offense wasn't able to quite stick it in the end zone there, they knew they had to stand tall up front there and keep them from getting out of the end zone and get a few points out of the operation.
Did a really good job. The Greenville offensive line had been handling them pretty well, but, boy, they knew exactly what to do. So the Lions, Greg Washington, the running back, is tackled in the end zone for a safety. And now the Lions will be kicking off from their own 20-yard line. So the Red Hawks will get really good field position again quickly.
Yeah, and it's going to be Lions are up 22-2. Not a score you hear all that often against the Redhawks with just 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half here. So game seemed to be going really quick there at the beginning, and it's still going pretty fast, but seems to have slowed down a little bit here.
Well, what the Lions have to do now is avoid some kind of complacency because, their offense was moving the ball, and when they got it on their own one, they could not move it. So here's Reagan Goggins with the kick from the 20. It's a little bit longer this time, and there's a fair catch called for at the 40-yard line. Interesting decision there by Trey Laurent. He had probably some room to run.
Probably a little bit, but understandably also didn't want to get run over by Sampson or any of those other boys who it looks like Sampson has picked that towel up that had been in right about midfield for the last 8 minutes or so.
Must have been his because he tucked it in the back of his pants. So here we go.
That or he's claiming it, one of the two.
All right, so let's see if the Lion defense gets charged up here and puts the quietus on this Red Hawk offense, which was moving down the field, albeit by penalties. Two running backs in there with nickel in the backfield now. Shotgun formation, tight formation this time. Look for a run. Hands off to Cooper. Cooper off right end. Picks up about 3 yards, going low to make the tackle there. Is that Enriquez? Ruben Enriquez, a senior linebacker. That man can hit.
He can, and the 3 Lions touchdowns on the night have come from all from the pass game, but for the most part, we've pretty much just been seeing running from both sides. Just a few passes there, and they've ended up in touchdowns for the Lions.
Nichols had some problems with his accuracy tonight. Johnson, on the other hand, has been pretty much spot on. Second, we'll call it 8 for the Redhawks. 6:31 remaining, ball at the 38-yard line, 42-yard line, of the Redhawks. Blitz. Nickel dropped the ball and then gets the pass away, and this man's running in the open field.
And that's going to be number 7, Reagan Goggins, and number 23, it looked like Jaden Johnson on the tackle there. And he got a lot of yardage there, but luckily the Lions were able to stop him before he got all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, Lincoln Daniel looking pretty smooth there. Nickel did a really good job. That was a low snap, and it rolled back to him. He picked it up and delivered a really good ball to Daniel. Big first down. We'll call it the 29-yard line, 24-yard line of the Lions. Caleb Cooper on the right side. And the Redhawks are moving the ball now as Cooper drags a couple of defenders, including Sampson, for about a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, and that's not something you say too often, Sampson getting dragged. Typically he hits them and they go down pretty quick there, but he was able to take him a little ways with him on that play.
Well, the Redhawks have got some momentum now. They just have 2 points, but they're looking like they've come to life here. Jacob Nickel, junior quarterback. Hands to Cooper, going around the left side. Look like the Lions are stringing him out, but he manages to get very close to moving the chains. Looks like they marked him out short of the line to gain. Going to be third down. We'll call it 2 yards to go for the Redhawks. Once again, pretty good job by the Lions defense stringing that one out.
Yeah, and they've the Redhawks have made some good ground here, but the Lions are definitely holding strong and not going to just roll over and let them run through.
Just a little over 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Lions 22, Redhawks 2. 3rd and 2. Hand off to Summers. Summers tripped up in the backfield by Sampson. It's easy to identify Jonathan with that towel behind his back.
Yeah, well, and if there's a play, there's a good chance it's him, Enriquez, or Parker making the play.
Yeah. Summers got enough yardage for the first down, however, so it's going to be spotted just inside the 15-yard line of Greenville. 1st and 10, Liberty. Lincoln Daniel takes a handoff going around the left side, and he's got about 7 or 8 yards, and maybe still. Oh, the ball was fumbled. Lions have it. Running loose on the far side is Reagan Goggins, I think. He's down at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Greenville Lions. We'll identify it.
And that was Daniel Renner that scooped that up, and there was really no stopping him once he got it. He got to the sideline, and there was no hope for stopping him on that play.
Man, I'll tell you what, Renner and Goggins with the high white socks, that fooled me, I'll tell you. That must have popped out of the hands of Lincoln Daniel, who's normally a wide receiver, but he got the handoff that time. Did you see what happened?
I couldn't. There were so many of them all balled up there together. It looks like there's a flag way
Yeah,
back
it looks
there.
like it's all coming back.
It might all be coming back.
Wow, pretty exciting play. Maybe they just ruled the guy down by contact, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see if there's a penalty.
Well, and the referee signaled initially down there at the end zone touchdown, so we're gonna see what it was.
Okay, he pointed like it was a penalty against Greenville. Oh, that's another personal foul. I heard a public address announcer say a personal foul, but I don't know whether he said. I don't know what the call was other than just personal foul. So it's half the distance to the end zone, and the ball will be spotted at the 7-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal for Liberty. And they come out in a wide formation. No, I'm sorry. Greenville's got the ball. I'm confused, Bentley.
I am too. It might have been a late hit play.
Okay, this is Greg Washington on the handoff from Johnson. And he gets about 3 or 4 yards. So the Lions start at their own 7 this time instead of their own 1, and they have a little bit more success on 1st down. We'll call it 2nd and 5. Fakes to Washington. Johnson with the keeper. Runs up the back of one of his blockers.
And it looks like that was
Xander Gonzalez, and picks up a 1st down. So Lions quickly to the huddle. Big Anthony Johnson. He's also got the high white socks. Drops straight back, looking deep. He's going to heave it. He's got a man. It might be Peyton. And Peyton does a good job of playing defense.
Yeah, ball was underthrown just a little bit, but Peyton turned around, saw it, and made sure that it wasn't picked off anyway.
Yeah, it was Damon Benson again, who had his opportunity for his 2nd pick of the night, but he was stripped by Dadrian Payton. Great job by Payton. 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Greg Washington off right tackle, breaks a tackle, still pushing forward, and moves the chains for a 1st down for Greenville.
Yeah, he just kind of bounced off a few Redhawks there, but was eventually taken down by about 3 of them. Looks like there might be an injury on the field. Looks like number 7, Kamari Daniels. So we'll see what happens here.
Okay, timeout on the field for an injury. I'll tell you what, the Lions were quickly to the line of scrimmage and ready to keep it going. We'll take a 30-second break, give it back to Chris, and hear from one of our GEUS spots.
Serving the people of Greenville is what we do. At GEUS, community involvement, volunteering, giving back through sponsorships, and providing hometown service with world-class reliability are just a few of our priorities. Being a locally owned public power utility means we are your family, friends, and neighbors. Community involvement and giving is easy when you are serving your hometown. Nationally recognized reliability and service, owned by those we serve for over 130 years.
All right, Bob Muting, Bentley Love back here at Frisco. Johnson straight back under pressure. Moving, scrambling now. We're going to his right. Penalty on the play as Johnson gets tossed out of bounds. And Coach Jackson saying, what about a late hit here? Penalty might be against the Lions. It's a holding call. So the Redhawks will have a decision to make here. That was a 1st down play. Actually, I thought that should have been a 2nd down play, wasn't it? After the incomplete pass.
I believe you're right. It should have been 2nd down, I think, but looks like they're calling it 1st down. So.
Well, I think the guy over there on the chain gang he doesn't have the right number. Anyway, the Lions have the ball with a long way to go, and Washington's going to get some of those yards back, about 10. Bring it up to the original line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be 3rd down and 10 to go. quickly to the line of scrimmage. Anthony Johnson takes a snap. Once again, hands to Washington. And Washington is busting his way forward, but he can't get all the way to the sticks.
Yeah, it looks like he's about 2 or 3 yards short there. And, the Lions, they're running it a lot here, trying to keep that clock moving.
And allegedly it is third down, so we'll call it 3rd and 2. Williams switches to the right side now, way in the slot. Johnson fakes. He keeps. And he fumbles. And I think it's a Red Hawk recovery.
However, there is a flag down on the play, so we're going to see.
It's a holding call against the Lions, so
that'll, of course,
play
be
will
declined.
Stand. Ball just popped out of Johnson's hands. So the Red Hawks get the turnover, and that's the first turnover, I think, by Greenville tonight, this season.
I think you're right, yeah. And it sets both teams at one turnover so far on the game, I believe. Red Hawks have had, like we mentioned, several opportunities to pick off the Lions, but none of them have come true so far.
Okay, so the teams exchange fumble recoveries, and the Red Hawks are going to take over in Lion territory at the 47-yard line with 2:24 remaining here in the first half. Lions lead by 20. Jacob Nickel, junior quarterback, in shotgun formation, drops straight back, looking downfield, throws, and that's almost intercepted.
Yeah, and Parker there delivering a hit on the quarterback that, again, was really close to being called as a late hit, but there's no flag on the play, so we're going to re-go with 2nd and 10, it looks like.
Very nearly intercepted by David Renner, I believe. Renner in his free safety position. Daniel Renner, not David Renner. Okay, Renner getting a lot of action tonight. 2:20 remaining and the clock stopped. 3 receivers left for the Red Hawks. Jacob Nickel, shotgun formation. Looked like maybe a blitz. It's going to be a screen. And Cooper's got some room to run. He's finally run out of bounds by Caleb Hale or Lewis. And another flag down. I'll tell you what, if this goes against the Lions, Coach Jackson is going to have a lot to say at halftime.
There's 2 down on the field.
Okay, the penalty's going to go against the Red Hawks this time. Do you know what that signal is?
I don't. I know what the holding signal is, and I know
okay.
what the late hit signal is, but I'm not sure about that one.
Well, it's a 15-yarder, so it's going to move the Red Hawks back to their own 46-yard line. We're going to call it 2nd and 19 for Jacob Nichols' Red Hawks. 2:11 remaining. The clock is stopped after the penalty. Fakes to Cooper, drops straight back, under a little bit of pressure, throws long, and Lincoln Daniel is out there, and I think he made the catch.
He did, but that was quite the play there by that young man. But number 7, Reagan Goggins, was right there to hold him down and not let him get much more ground on it.
Yeah, Goggins had good coverage, but that was just a good throw and a good reception by Lincoln Daniel, who fumbled the ball in his last carry. So this is a first down. Great conversion, big conversion for the Red Hawks. They're down at the Greenville 15-yard line now. Hand off to Cooper. Cooper this time is handled quickly.
Looks like number 33, Jonathan Sampson, on the play with maybe a little bit of help from number 20, Jaden Gibson there.
Yeah, we'll call it a gain of 1. 1:22 remaining. The Red Hawks don't have a lot of timeouts remaining. I know they've burned at least 2. 2nd and 9. And Bickle, under pressure, gets it away. It's a completion, but probably for no gain, as the receiver is quickly handled over there on the far side by one of the Greenville defenders. Might have been Jamarian Hamilton.
I believe it was either him or it might have been number 20, Jaden Gibson, again there. He's been all over the field tonight.
Very quickly covered that receiver. 3rd and 9 for the Red Hawks. 49 seconds and counting. Bickle rolls to his right, under pressure, throws into the end zone. Oh, and it's almost a completion right at the edge of the end zone.
Yeah, it went just a hair over his hands and bounced, and it looked like it hit the cameraman over there in the corners right in the legs.
Coverage was close, but that could very well have been a score. Once again, Nickel was looking for his favorite receiver, Lincoln Daniel. Just a little bit over his fingertips. Looks like the Hawks are going to go. I thought they were going to go for a field goal. Let's wait and see.
Well, it looked like they might have called pass interference there on the Lions, moved them all the way up to the 2-yard line.
Oh boy, missed that one. Okay, first and goal now from the 2 for the Red Hawks after yet another penalty against the Lions. Cooper gets the call. Not much running room and 33 seconds and counting. I guess the Red Hawks don't have any more timeouts. It says they've got one left.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to signal for a timeout, but nothing came of it.
Okay, they clock the ball. Quarterback just takes it and just throws it down to stop the clock.
Yeah, and I can imagine with just 20 seconds left here, they're going to probably trot out the kicking unit. Otherwise, they might go for one more play here, but I don't see that happening because they need to keep that time on the clock. So hopefully they can walk away from here with at least a few points.
Well, I'm looking at the scoreboard, and it clearly says they have a timeout remaining. Am I wrong?
I see it too, but I guess not because he tried to get one from the ref, and he wouldn't give it to him.
Okay. All right, 3rd down and 3. Nickel under center now. Gives to Cooper, and Cooper's into the end zone for a Red Hawk touchdown, but there's a penalty. Let's see what that is. My goodness, we're getting a lot of flags tonight.
That's got to be at least 12 or 13 in the first half. Probably a lot more than that.
Holding call against Red Hawks, going to take that one back. Wow. And Nickel gets the number from the ref and flashes it over to Coach Swinea. Boy, that's a tough one for the Red Hawks to swallow. They had the crowd here on the home side really excited about that touchdown. But erase it off the board. So with 17 seconds left, clock is stopped. Ball now spotted back at the 12-yard line. Still 3rd down and goal. 2 receivers split wide left. Shotgun formation for Jacob Nickel. He fakes a handoff, rolls to his left, has lots of room to run, looking into the end zone. It's picked off.
And
a great hit by Nickel after that ball was intercepted.
Yeah,
he turned into a defensive back.
Yeah, and it looked like the Lions player there. I couldn't quite tell who it was that made that catch, but it looked like he thought, well, he's the quarterback. And looking at the replay board here, it looked like number 3, Aiden Lewis. And I think he thought he would just run the quarterback over, but Nickel had a different idea.
Great play by Lewis. Poor throw that time by Nickel, but boy, he really he made up for his mistake because Lewis would have had a lot of room to run if Nickel hadn't tackled him as hard as he did. So the Lions stopped the threat, and with 7.9 remaining here in the first half, I would expect either a handoff to Washington or maybe a kneel down by Johnson. Takes a snap. Hands to Greg Washington. Washington picks up about 7 or 8 yards, and that'll probably do it for the first half here at Toyota Stadium. Lions take the lead into halftime, 22-2. And we're going to take a break, probably a couple of minutes for Chris to give us a few commercials. And we'll come back, give David Claiborne a little bit of time to put the stats together, and we'll have David as our halftime guest once again.
And it looks like we're going to have the Lions band and flashes up first since we're the visiting crowd tonight.
Okay, so Chris, you'll probably watch the band.
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. GEUS, delivering high-speed internet to our hometown for more than 20 years.
Bob Muty back here at Toyota Stadium at halftime while the Greenville High School band performs. We just had a nice performance by the Greenville High School Flaming Flashes, and I have with me the distinguished sports editor of the Greenville Herald-Banner, David Claiborne. David, what do you think of this first half?
Well, it's a big difference from what we saw last week, except for we saw the same thing happen. The second play from scrimmage, the same guy, quarterback throwing the same receiver, big play. That's a great start. But unlike last game, the Lions follow that up, and here we are, 22-2 ahead.
Yeah.
That's a much different looking team. One of the things Coach Jackson was stressing to me was he said, we're going to get better every day, every game.
Yep.
And, boy, I see improvement.
Yeah, there's no question. I think clearly he's going to be disappointed with the penalties.
That's one thing, we're all figuring out about Coach Jackson about the discipline. And he's stressed that to me and to you guys. And it's very important, his team. And I got the Lions with 6 penalties for 65 yards. And I'm sure that's about 5 more than he wants to see for first half.
Oh, yeah. And you probably noticed that when the offending player committed that penalty, he came out of the game immediately.
And he got an earful from Coach. Which
probably did.
I like what he's doing with these lines, and I like the discipline, and it's showing up. I'm seeing it at the volleyball match. Some kids were acting up, and there's Coach Jackson on the spot.
Okay.
And you mentioned the breakfast with the dads.
Lions' dad, yep.
Yeah, and the shirt and the tie.
Yep.
And this guy is going to stress discipline, and then discipline wins ball games.
Yeah. And, well, it's a discipline that's kind of a quiet discipline. I don't believe he actually spoke to those players when they came off the field, but those players knew that they were being substituted because they committed a penalty, which they knew their coach probably didn't approve.
When you play football and you play hard, you're going to get some penalties. You hit maybe just a little bit late because hustle plays. What the Lions want to iron out are the mental mistakes.
Right.
And missing the snap count on and knocking the quarterback back, and work on some of those. But some of these, I didn't get a real good look at what they did to get the penalty. But this crew is calling it pretty tight. They've got Liberty with 5 penalties for 50 yards. Both teams have hurt themselves with penalties.
For sure. Yeah, especially Liberty on that last. Of course, the Greenville Lions had a touchdown call back, too, on that fumble recovery.
I didn't see what happened there. I saw Renner pick it up. What people need to realize is Daniel Renner is one of the fastest kids in Greenville.
Yeah.
Last year, he took 4th at district in the 100-meter dash. Of course, Cameron Neal took second, and Neal and Dadrian Payton and Renner were on the 4x1 relay that won district and got out of area and went to regional. And these guys are showing their speed tonight.
Yeah. We had definitely. I think they have an advantage over the Red Hawk defense speed-wise. Now, on offense, the Red Hawks got some speed too, and that Caleb Cooper kid.
Caleb Cooper kind of reminds me of that cowboy that they have now, Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, little guy.
5'5". Those guys have a place at running back because of low center of gravity. Yeah, and if you're quick like that, you can play when you're 5'5".
Yeah. What's Cooper got as far as the
I've
stats?
got Cooper. They've run him 16 times. He's got 84 yards.
Okay.
He's quick and he's pretty tough. And Nichols there, I got him 6 of 13 passing for 106 yards. But Anthony Johnson he's shown a lot of improvement tonight, and he's always had the strong arm. You wonder if he's going to develop the touch. And I think under Coach Jackson, he's just going to get better every game. And what I saw last year, he got thrown to the Wolves or Leopards or Cardinals, as we should say, when he started games against Melissa and Lucas Lovejoy. That's you learn real fast against the quality opponents like that. And I was hoping it would carry over this season. Last week, he looked a little tentative at times. This week, he looks very confident and sure back there. He's making good decisions, and we know he's got an arm.
Yeah. Well, I think he's probably getting better protection tonight.
He's getting better protection. Lake Dallas, the last couple of years, they play good defense.
Yeah.
I thought their defense wasn't as good this year as it was last year, but I thought Lake Dallas's offense was better. Lake Dallas is a playoff team, and they showed it.
Team. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Liberty, they haven't done too well.
Struggling.
But 2 years ago, they were a good team.
Yeah.
And they were a good team about, 8 years ago when they had a running back named Jay Ajayi back there.
Yeah.
And he scores 4 touchdowns, end up with the Miami Dolphins and Philadelphia Eagles. Liberty has some talent.
Yeah.
One thing the coach had told me, they seem to be low in numbers. They only have, they shoot up 32 is what you counted?
Yeah, that's what I counted.
Man, I remember they had a lot more players.
Yeah. So what were Johnson's numbers in the first?
I had him 4 of 8 for 118 yards. Adrian Payton had 2 catches, 74 yards. Jet Fifield, what an addition to the team this week. You know, his second game to play varsity football. Last week, he showed some jitters. Tonight, he's ready to play.
Yeah.
And those are 2 fine catches. 2 catches, 45 yards and touchdowns. You know, he's just another guy that's just going to get better every week.
Well, and he's a great target. He's about 6'4". I mean, Peyton's a big guy too, but I don't think he's quite that tall.
Well, see, Peyton, they got him to 5'11", but you got it in the slot. You got this Nathan Michelle. They got him listed 6'4", 250, and then you got Jet listed at 6'4", 210. That's too big. He got a quarterback 6'3". They got some skill kids that are big and strong.
And I love that that play that razzle dazzle that they started out snapping the ball to Michelle, and he flips it out to Johnson.
One thing I was
deep.
looking forward to this season is Randy Jackson's calling the plays.
Yeah.
He told me that from the get-go. He says, I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm calling the plays. I've watched him on the other side of the field when North Forney played the Lions. He's a good play caller. Yeah. And it's interesting. And, you know, he goes after them from the start. You know, the first 2 throws last week were deep. The second throw, this was the quick screen that worked. But he's looking to attack.
Well, and the thing about it is, I mean, he's got some kind of a system whereby he communicates with Johnson, and they get the playoff within about 10 seconds.
Well, that's been his goal. And I remember North Forney, they were hard to keep up with stat-wise because they ran so fast. Mm-hmm. He got the plays off it, but that's his thing he does, and that's a lot of teams these days. They run no huddle and get off its, you know, don't give the defense time to sit, but you get more plays in. Yeah, and that's their
Greg
goal.
Washington doing that first half.
I had him with 93 yards on 16 carries. He's shown improvement. It's interesting that, you know, he's the only running back that's carried the ball. So,
Right. Yep.
But we've seen that a lot in the spread. You see one running back carrying the ball most of the time. You remember when it was wishbone, it would be 3 guys running with the football or 4 guys.
Yeah.
Now, on these spreads, it's usually 1 guy. But he's running hard. He's making good cuts. I'm just kind of pumped at, you know, seeing this kind of improvement because the way they looked last week, you know, we talked after the game. I was questioning, you know, are they going to get better? And boy, I should have listened to Coach Jackson.
Well, here's the thing. These kids, if they can get a win tonight, I think it's going to be just huge for the program. I mean, you figure 3 weeks in, he picks up a W. Admittedly, you know, the Red Hawks are down, but the Lions stepped on them quick tonight with the passing game, and they got a good functional running game now. And if they can continue moving the football offensively in the second half, I don't see any way that they give this one up.
One of the things that's encouraging, too, is the 2 goal line stands.
Yeah.
You know, that's George Sellers. He's a local guy. I remember watching him play Little League Baseball. I'm kind of
Really?
giving my age away here.
No kidding.
At the old Bill Betts. You know, they don't have that anymore.
Boy, you are dating yourself.
Yeah, I'm dating myself. But George, you know, he's got the defense. They're playing sideline to sideline. They got some speed on the defense.
Yeah.
And they're playing smart now. You got to eliminate some of the personal fouls.
Yeah.
But if you play hard, you're going to get a couple of those. And coaches can live with that. Just, you know, don't beat yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, Lions are, and that was something that Coach Jackson said about Frisco Liberty. He said they don't beat themselves. So if you're going to beat them, you can't give up a lot of turnovers and make mistakes. So.
Right. Well, the Lions just committed that 1 turnover when Johnson lost a handle on that 1 keeper.
But
So, pretty good ball security by the Greenville squad.
I'm like Bentley. You don't see too many 22-2 scores.
That's an unusual one.
That's very unusual.
Deuce is wild.
Deuce is wild. And this is an interesting football stadium to play in.
Oh goodness, yes.
Something that Coach Jackson impressed me with was he said, I don't know how many kids are aware of this, but Messi played in this stadium not that long ago.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, and you and I are big soccer fans. I watched that World Cup game with Lionel Messi, and I was rooting for that guy to go out with his career. Never figured he'd be over here playing. And that's exciting, and I hope it pumps up some interest in soccer. But it's just a historic place to be in here and see all the signs of FC Dallas, National Soccer Hall of Fame over there. And I'm dating myself here, too. I remember when this was Pizza Hut Park.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Pizza Hut Park. It was Pizza Hut something else. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was Pizza Hut. And
Pizza.
Now it's Toyota Stadium, and about the time you learn the name of these stadiums, they change the names.
Well, cars are more expensive than pizza, right? So.
What I remember last time, they had a Toyota car up in the end zone.
There are two down there.
There they are.
There's a pickup truck down there, and then there's a SUV, and then up high.
That's what I was looking for. Up high.
There's a red one SUV over there, and there's another one over yonder.
This is a fascinating place.
Oh yeah.
You could tell it's built for soccer because the press box is not way off in the distance.
No.
We can see well up here. It's a great place to watch.
Here. And we're watching the flashes from, or the drill team from Frisco Liberty, and the band and drill team for both squads did a nice job tonight. So you're going to be busy tomorrow afternoon at 4:30, I understand. The volleyball game is going to be live in Greenville against Prairie Land.
If I can make it out there, I got so much on my plate these days.
Well, we wanted to remind all you volleyball fans and sports fans in general about the Greenville Lady Lions volleyball team having a really successful start to their season, and they're playing at home tomorrow at 4:30 against Prairie Land. It'll be covered live by Matthew Middleton and the GEUS live stream on YouTube. So if you can't get out to the gym, you can pick it up on YouTube. David?
I'll tell you who does a good job is Jenna Sickles with that volleyball program.
Coach Sickles has really developed a...
You know where some of that winning spirit came from? Her dad, Ray Jackson, is from Odessa, Permian. That's Mojo.
Woo-hoo.
That's the Mojo.
I know Ray very well. I didn't realize he was from Permian.
Yeah, he's a Mojo guy.
Wow.
So it's kind of interesting when you see somebody that knows how to win, where did it come from? And Jenna knows how to win and knows how to prepare and got those girls playing hard. And, but they have to play hard. They got McKinney North and Lucas Lovejoy ahead. Lovejoy's won 9 state titles in volleyball.
Oh, that's a tremendous district.
Lovejoy's good at everything. McKinney North's good at everything.
Yeah, why do they have to be in our district?
Well, here's what happened in volleyball. They lost Highland Park and got Lucas Lovejoy. That wasn't a very good trade.
Okay, you got anything else that stands out to you from that first half of action?
Oh, just improvement, and this is what Coach Jackson, I'm listening to him. I'm clued in on him, talking about we're going to get better, and this is non-district. This is get you ready for district.
Yeah.
And you find out, they're trying to find out who their best players are, best lineup, and that's what you use non-district games for. I've told people this a lot. Mount Pleasant used to go 0-5 in non-district, start district, and then go on an 8-game run.
Yeah.
A lot of teams, they use non-district to prepare. Maybe you want to win them, but you're still trying to find out your team's identity.
Well, regardless of what happens tonight, next week the Lions are going to face a really, really skilled Tyler Chapel Hill team.
Oh, that team,
are really good.
Oh, I've been really impressed with them the last couple of years. The depth of talent.
Yeah.
I remember they had 4 or 5 running backs, and they put in the 5th running back. Yeah. Wow, look at this guy. Yeah.
So this is a good one. Build a little momentum, and David, we appreciate your time here this afternoon.
Well, I'm enjoying this game, and that was a very entertaining first half.
It was. Hopefully, second half will be the same. David Claiborne with us from the Greenville Herald Banner. Chris, take it away, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Careful use of our energy resources is a GEUS priority, and we know that saving money as well as energy is important to our customers. Did you know that you can save money year-round by making small changes to your thermostat? Save money and energy year-round by installing a programmable thermostat. Program a setting comfortable for your whole family while you're home. Program the thermostat while you are away 7 to 10 degrees or more cooler in the winter and warmer in the summer. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, you can save as much as 10% per year by doing this. Weather impacts our heating and cooling costs, causing our units to run more, especially during extreme temperatures. Adjust your thermostat just 4 degrees from your normal settings during extreme temperatures to conserve energy and save on your utility bill. Consider energy efficiency updates to your home to help improve comfort and savings. Improvements like sealing cracks around doors and windows and upgrading attic insulation keeps your cooling or heating in when you need it. GEUS customer service is ready to serve and assist you any way we can. Call 903-457-2800 or visit our website at www.geus.org.
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. GEUS, delivering high-speed internet to our hometown for more than 20 years.
Welcome back to Toyota Stadium, where the Greenville Lions lead the Frisco Liberty Redhawks. Bentley Love and Bob Muty alongside here to bring you the action. Enjoying this one, especially after a difficult start last week for Coach Jackson's squad. Bentley, what do you think about that first half?
Yeah, I think it's good, no doubt. It's definitely a nice change from last week, being on this end of a big lead rather than the other end of a big loss so far. But 22-2, I feel like the Lions are definitely in a good position, and it's a little bit of a different ball game for them playing on a Thursday night, but they seem to have adjusted no problem.
Well, they'll be kicking off to the Redhawks to start the second half, and we'll see if the defense gets on the field and can put a stop to that Redhawk offense, which seemed to get a little bit of momentum toward the end of that first half.
Yeah, it did, and but luckily, I don't know if it was the Lions necessarily or if it was a little bit more of the clock helping them out, stopping them, but luckily they weren't able to score anymore and just held them to those 2 points in the first half.
That was a huge interception by Aiden Lewis right there at the goal line. And
it really was, and it's plays like that are, I mean, you look back and they're the difference makers. So
2 turnovers for the Redhawks, including that one, and one against the Lions on the Johnson fumble. Okay, so Reagan Goggins has got it teed up at the 40-yard line. Lions will be moving from our right to left. And the kick is up. It's going to come down near the 30. It's fumbled by Cooper. Still loose. We'll see who got it. It was a scramble.
Yeah, and there's several Lions players signaling that it's their ball, which you could expect, but there's a couple Liberty and the referee signaling that it's going to be Liberty's ball, it looks like. But there's a couple injuries on the play.
Yeah, there was a scramble there, and it looks like Jaden Gibson might have come up gimpy there.
Yeah, and he's being helped off the field.
And one of the Redhawks is still down, so we'll have a timeout for an injury here. It will be Redhawk ball to start the second half, and this ball is going to be placed at their own 27-yard line. We'll take a 30-second break with the injury.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
Reagan Regattas as the injured player, but he is up and moving to the sideline under his own power, so no serious injury there. And we always like that. Hate to see a guy go down. It looked like it might be serious there for a few minutes for Landon Regattas. Okay, 1st and 10 for Liberty. Jacob Nickel at the controls. Cooper behind him. Takes the handoff around the left side, cuts back, stopped at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, and it was a whole group of lines, our whole pride of lines looked like headed up by number 28, Ruben Enriquez on the play there, and it's good to see those boys rallying together to make the stop.
5-yard run for Cooper, 2nd and 5. This here's early in the second half, 11:30 remaining. Man in motion behind Nickel. Once again, handoff to Cooper, this time on the right side, and Cooper drags defenders all the way to almost the 44-yard line. So that's a first down for the Redhawks.
Yeah, and while we have a second here, while the Redhawks are looking at what play they're going to bring up, here at about middle of the second quarter, we've got West Mesquite and Poteet tied at 14-14 in Poteet.
Okay, 1st and 10 for Liberty. Lion defense looking for the run. And they get it. It's Cooper, and the Lions were ready for him that time. Stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that was number 33, Jonathan Sampson, number 60, Josh Brock, and it looked like number 47, Caden Waters, that all were rallying on the play there.
Yeah, and Waters quickly replaced, but a good job by him to get involved in that tackle. 2nd and 10, 10:18 remaining here in the third quarter. Lions lead 22-2, unusual score as they surrender to safety from their own 1-yard line. Nickel in shotgun. Switch from strong right to strong left. Hand off to the running back. It's not Cooper this time. And the running back goes forward for about 3 yards.
That looked like number 26, Daniel Eason on the carry there, who is listed as a sophomore wide receiver and defensive back, but he takes a handoff out of the backfield there, and he picks up a few yards there, so good play by the young sophomore.
We'll call it 3rd and 7. Cooper back in there with Nickel now, I believe. Or is that still Essen? Can't see the number. Here's a handoff this time. It might have been Lincoln Daniel in the backfield. He is stuffed by Khalil Parker.
Yeah, and that's a familiar sight for the Lions and us up here as the commentators seeing Parker making stops because he's always near the ball and he's always making stops.
And more than likely we're going to see a punt from the Red Hawks here. 4th and we'll call it 10. They line up in the regular shotgun formation. And Nickel looks to the sidelines. See if he drops back into a short punt formation. That's what he did last time, got off a very low kick. Does the same thing. No, he's going to throw. He's under pressure, and they've got him for a sack. And, boy, what a turn of events this is.
Yeah, and that was a couple lines there on the play. Number 33, Jonathan Sampson, and number 59, Khalil Parker, taking him down for quite the loss and a turnover on downs. So
yeah, they're the two big guys, and Nickel's a little bit slow getting up. I'm really surprised at that call, why they would go for it deep in their own territory like that. But the Lions' defense comes up big as Sampson and Khalil Parker, two of the leading defenders for Greenville, combine on the sack. 1st and 10 Greenville now at the 34-yard line of Liberty. Johnson straight back, has time, throws to the side, and Peyton can't swing that, can't bring it in. Hit him in the hands, bad spot.
yeah, and that's a couple times we've seen that from Peyton tonight, and you hate to see something like that, but hopefully he'll get it back together for his next play out there. He's either trotting out way wide or he might be going off to the side.
And Lincoln Daniels playing a little defense. He was in on that play. Might have affected the catch. Fake handoff, and Johnson keeps it for just short yardage around off right tackle. 3rd down, we'll call it a long 9. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, H-back formation. Hand off to Washington. Washington's got short yardage, so it's going to bring up a 4th down from about the 30-31-yard line. It'll be an interesting decision here for Coach Jackson.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go for it here again.
Yeah, too far for a field goal. 4th and 6. And a stoppage, and Coach Jackson wants to talk about it. Timeout, Greenville. Well, did that 4th down call surprise you?
It did a little bit, and it surprised me even more that he took the sack and wasn't able to get rid of it. But, it really did surprise me, them going for it on 4th and 9. But, it's not high school football without some surprises.
Yeah. Well, and the Greenville defense, give them some credit. They didn't buy the fact that he was going to, go into a short punt. I mean, he dropped back, and he never faked the punt. He just put it up and like he was going to throw it. And, boy, they were just on him like on flypaper.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they got to him quick, and they weren't about to let him get away with a play there. So, that's what we like to see from the Lions defense, because if you're not being aggressive on defense, what are you doing?
Now the Red Hawk defense has stiffened and forced a 4th down. Looks like almost 7 yards for the Lions. Johnson straight back. Looks like it might be a screen. They get it. there's room for Peyton to run, but he's not able to pick up the first down. Actually, that's Isaiah Williams on the catch. So a little screen pass is not effective as the Red Hawk defense comes up big.
Yeah, and looking at that, it looks like the Lions are going to turn the ball over on downs just about where they got the ball originally to start the drive, and so it's almost going to be like just starting over on that same drive for the Red Hawks with a new set of downs.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a big momentum shift there, but the Red Hawk defense had other ideas. So we're kind of back to where we were after the initial second half kickoff with 7:34 remaining in the third quarter. Red Hawks take over at their own 29-yard line. Two running backs flanking the quarterback. He hands off to Summers. Summers around the left side, being chased by Hamilton. Hamilton stays with him, brings him down from behind.
Yeah, and he almost got to him way back in the backfield, but he just barely missed him. But he sure did stick with that play and was able to run him down and take him down nonetheless.
4-yard pickup for Summers, 2nd and 6. 7:10 remaining, the clock running in the third quarter. 22-2, Greenville leads. Bob Muty and Bentley Love here in Toyota Stadium. Beautiful facility for a high school football game. Shift from strong left to strong right. Man in motion. Lincoln Daniel gets the handoff, and he is close to moving the chains.
And it looks like the refs are going to go ahead and signal that as a first down here at the 40-yard line, it looks like, and that's going to give the Red Hawks a new set of downs.
Daniel's pretty dangerous from that slot receiver when he comes in motion like that.
Yeah, and the Red Hawks like to call that play quite often, and it's been working quite often.
1st and 10, Liberty. Strong right, 2 receivers to the right. Handoff this time. It might be Cooper. And Cooper is tossed down by a Lion who loses his helmet. That's Enriquez, I believe, after a pickup of 5 yards. So the Red Hawks are moving the ball.
Yeah, and again, that's good to see a guy like Ruben, who's a senior and another one of those leaders on the team, getting there quick and making those plays. Looks like number 47, Caden Waters, is going to come in to replace him on this play.
Yeah, Waters in there to the linebacker spot. Shift from strong right to strong left. Cooper with the handoff going left. Squeezes out of a tackle and then is gang tackled by 3 or 4 Lions about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah,
I think, was that Garcia over there amongst that?
It looked like Garcia and Goggins, and I'm not sure who the other 2 were. Possibly Renner was right around there too. So a whole pride of Lions working together on that one.
Okay, big play here for both teams. 3rd and short, just short of midfield for the Red Hawks. See if Nickel decides to keep this one. Sure enough, he's coming around the right side, and he's not going to get the first down.
Yeah, and it looks like that was number 9, Edwin Garcia on that play there, but there's 28 Ruben Enriquez just got helped up, so hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, he was backing up Khalil Parker, who was one of the first guys to get to Nickel, and once again we got Regattas down on the field, so this might be a recurring problem after the last time on that opening kickoff.
Yeah.
So Landon Regattas is down on the field. We'll take a short break. Chris, give us about 30 seconds, would you please?
Greenville became the first municipally owned public power electric utility in Texas in 1891, when privately owned companies were only interested in serving large cities such as Dallas and Fort Worth. Greenville citizens took destiny into their own hands and began producing their own power. Today, more than 130 years later, GEUS continues to provide this vital.
Okay, 4th, and we'll call it 2 for the Red Hawks in their own territory, about the 48-yard line, going for it. Handoff this time to Cooper, and Cooper is fumbled the ball. He wasn't going to get the first down anyway, but he fumbled, and I think the Lions may have recovered it and just taken it right out of bounds. So it's going to be a turnover on downs by the Red Hawks, and the Lions will take over. Just a reminder for you folks that not only are you getting this on YouTube, but you're also getting it on Friendly Radio, and we'll have that call sign for you in just a minute. Matthew Middleton, our regular technician, works with Friendly down at the radio station, and this game is being carried. It's KCBI, maybe?
Yeah, it's a 98.3 KKVI Friendly Radio.
All right, Lions are back at first down. They're at the 48-yard line of the Red Hawks. The chains have not moved yet. The chain gang is they're struggling a little bit. Lions lead by a score of 22-2, and I didn't stutter there. 22-2. Anthony Johnson, senior quarterback, straight back. He's going long, has a man down there, and I believe that one might have been intercepted that time. Damon Benson has had 3 opportunities, and this time he comes up with the interception. Pass was intended, I believe, for Dadrian Payton, and good coverage that time by Benson, and he makes the interception at the 7-yard line of the Red Hawks. So a quick turnover by Anthony Johnson gives the ball right back to the guys in red.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful pass by Johnson, just a couple feet too far, and Benson had him beat by just a couple steps, and it fell right into his hands. So that's just a case of having a little bit too much arm.
Benson had a little trouble catching the first 2 opportunities, but that time he hung on to it and gets the turnover for Liberty. So lots of back and forth here early in the third quarter, 4:10 remaining. Red Hawks back in control. Flips to Cooper this time. Cooper is grabbed at the line of scrimmage, gets about a yard before being brought down.
Yeah, and it looked like number 70, Mario Valentin, number 47, Caden Waters, definitely on the play, and possibly number 45, Cody Waldrop there too. Whole pride of Lions working together.
Looks like the ball's going to be spotted exactly where we started, so we'll call it 2nd and 10. Red Hawks, a little bit of confusion. Now they have 3 receivers to the right. Almost draws the man off sides. Nickel takes a snap, hands off once again to Cooper, and Cooper is brought down very quickly.
Yeah, and that was
Sampson and Parker, maybe.
Sampson and Parker, it looks like. Yes, sir. Yeah, they those 2 guys, they get to the ball quick, and they make the plays fast and try to minimize the damage. So it looks like they're going to keep it to absolutely 0 there, as it's still going to be 3rd and 10.
And we got a player down. That is possibly Caleb Cooper. Let's hope he's let's hope he's okay. He's a quality running back for the Red Hawk team. This has been a really funny second half, Bentley. I'll tell you what. I mean, the Lion defense comes up big, and then the Red Hawk defense comes up big, and then we get the ball back, and we throw an interception on the first play, and it's like, hey, man, geez, come on.
Yeah, and it's a lot of scoring for the Lions in the first half, but it's been definitely more of a defensive matchup here in the second, no doubt.
We haven't seen much scoring at all after that first quarter. But still a very entertaining game, and a beautiful place, as we alluded to earlier, beautiful place to have an athletic event like a football game.
Yeah, and we can hear some applause coming from the sideline in the crowd as Caleb Cooper limps off, and I don't know, he looks to be doing a little bit better. He's not having to be carried off, so that's always a good sign. But hopefully he'll be all right, and might see him again tonight, might not. But we'll keep y'all updated.
Well, that'll probably give Essien an opportunity. The sophomore that we saw earlier on a play, he's in there now. Where's number 26 on his red jersey with the white numerals? You know, the colors for both teams are basically the same. It's just that the Lions are in their gray tonight. Nichols back in his end zone. Lets that one go. He's intended for Reed Summers, and that ball was knocked away at the last minute.
Yeah, and while we have a second here, figured I'd give y'all another score update. At halftime of the West Mesquite-Poteet game, West Mesquite has taken the lead, and they are up 17-14. So not a huge lead, but hopefully for the Lions' sake, the West Mesquite can hold on to that as Poteet's in their district.
Yeah, we'll be looking at Poteet, I believe, at homecoming, aren't we?
I believe you're right.
Okay, there's a short punt formation. Nickel gets it away. It's taken by Renner. Renner is over the shoulder, and he's got some room to run, but a nice tackle on the far side of the field right at about the 30-yard line. And I think that might have been the sophomore Essien on that.
Yeah, it was. He got to him and was able to force him out of bounds.
Pretty nice play by the young man. So the Lions right back with the ball. They forced the punt, and they've got it at the 30-yard line. And they come out quickly. I like the up-tempo offense of Coach Jackson. It's totally different. Eason, okay. Eason is the correct pronunciation. Thank you, Bentley. Anthony Johnson hands to Greg Washington, and the senior tandem results in a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how much more running we see because it's a good way to control the clock, and they sure do like to control the clock, the Lions.
Yeah, well, this is the type of game you want to do that. Johnson on the keeper this time has good yardage, and the big guy rumbles down to the 11-yard line for a Greenville first down. 2:17 remaining here in the third quarter. Greenville Lions with a 20-point lead. 22-2. H-back is Nathan Michelle. Big guy can really block. He gets in front of Washington, but this time the Red Hawks bring Washington down. Maybe no gain, maybe a loss.
Yeah, and that was number 8 and number 54, Brian Chandler and Zane Amir on the play. And those two boys, they got there quick, and they made the play quick.
2nd and 10 for Greenville. Ball spotted just outside the 10-yard line. Handoff once again to Washington. Again, not much over left tackle. Defense is stiffening for the Red Hawks. It'll be interesting to see if the Lion defense offense cannot get a first down, whether or not they'll give Nick just an opportunity to try for a field goal here. Quick little mini huddle there. And Anthony Johnson's getting the blitz. He's under pressure. He's turning around, running to his right, throws back, and nobody home.
And there's going to be a flag on the play as it looked like one of the guys for the Red Hawks secondary grabbed, looked like Isaiah Williams' jersey and held on to him for a second. So that's what it looked like from the booth. We'll see if that's really what it was.
Well, if that's a pass interference call against the Red Hawks, that'll result in a Greenville first down.
Yeah, and is that a spot foul or is that half the distance to the goal line?
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably half the distance. Let's wait and see what it is. It is a pass interference call against Liberty. So the Lions will get the play over.
And it does look like they're going to spot the ball right at about the 2 or 3 yard line.
Well, it'll be a Greenville first down inside the 5-yard line. Lions trying to increase their lead of 20 points. Washington gets the handoff, breaks a tackle, and busts in the end zone for a Greenville touchdown. No flags on the play. Washington with his first touchdown of the year. On the ground, the Lions score for the first time tonight. That brings the score to 28-2. as the Lions will attempt the placement. The reason we are at an unusual number is on the second touchdown, Jet Fifield, the holder, took the snap and ran it into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. Edwin Garcia late getting in to help block. Fifield is the holder. Nick Just will take the kick. It's a good snap, a good hold. The kick is up, and the kick is no good, off to the right. So that kind of makes up for the 2-point conversion, and now we've got the regular old 28.
28. There you go. 4 touchdowns. Looks like they just threw an extra point up there on the board. Ref signaled no good, so we're going to see what that's all about.
Are my eyes failing me, Bentley?
No, I see 29-2 also.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I thought they signaled it wasn't good.
Well, I saw that too, so if your eyes are failing you, mine are failing me as well.
Maybe the guy running the scoreboard just figured, well, they're going to make the extra point. So we'll get that straightened out here in a minute. In any event, the Lions do increase their lead by at least 6 points. And Reagan Goggins is going to be teeing it up at the 40-yard line. 53.4 seconds remaining. We typically don't get tenths of a second on our clocks, but this is a soccer stadium, so you got to have it down to the second, tenth of a second. Goggins has been using the pop-over kick and generally gets it down to about the 30-yard line, where the Red Hawks have been alternating between taking the fair catch and fumbling the ball and making a decent run back. So we'll see what they do this time. Caleb Cooper not in receiving formation this time due to his injury. Little delay here. I don't know whether they're wondering about the scoreboard or like we're wondering.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're there's a conversation going on between two refs about at midfield the 45-yard line,
and the head man standing down there in the end zone where he's supposed to be. He can't help. So I don't know what's going on, but
when you can see
we're waiting for the kickoff, and now they're bringing the Lions together.
Maybe a quick little huddle. Not sure what they're going to be talking about right here.
I think this is what you call a referee's timeout.
I suppose you're right. Oh, and there it goes. They just took that 1 point off the scoreboard and brought it back down to 28-2.
Yeah, that was the problem.
All the players slide off to the sides, and Reagan counts it back down again and gets ready for the kickoff.
And the guy running the scoreboard just crawled under the desk. Here's the kickoff by Goggins. It's a better kick this time. Comes down at about the 20. Taken there, I think, by Summers. And, boy, he's brought down immediately. What a great tackle that time. That's Blakely again.
Yeah, and again, hit him just like a bullet again. Blakely dove, hit him right in the legs, and that was all she wrote for that old boy.
That young man is earning some playing time on that defensive side of the ball. That's two really good kick coverage by Kendrick Blakely, and he's in there right now at a cornerback spot. Gets the high five from Daniel Renner, and the Lion defense is ready to go. 49.2 remaining in the third quarter. Lions lead 28-2. Caleb Cooper back on the field, so that's a good thing to see for the Liberty Redhawks. He's a good little running back. Man in motion, Regattas. Fakes, gives to Cooper. Cooper breaks a couple of tackles, fumbles the ball again.
And it looks like it's going to be Liberty jumping on it, but Renner was there quick, so the refs are going to give the official signal here in just a second.
You wonder if Cooper's injury has got him a little bit shaken up, just a little bit out of sorts, because it's not like him to fumble the ball. He's had trouble with the second half kickoff, and now another fumble there. But the Redhawks do jump on it.
Yeah, and it was close. It was real close.
There's been a couple of situations when the ball was on the field and it was anybody's ball, but the Redhawks have been fastest to it most of the time. We'll call it 2nd and 6 yards for Liberty. Clock running, 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Regatas moves left to right. Now they both go over to the other side with Pratt. Daniel in motion. He gets the little handoff. He's got some room around the right side. He's got a first down before he's thrown down on the far side.
Yeah, but Renner sure was there waiting on him, and Renner grabbed him and spun him out of bounds, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter as time looks like it clicked on down, and so it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Redhawks on the 35-yard line here when we come back in just a second with a fresh quarter, 12 minutes on the clock.
Conserving energy is important to us here at GEUS. We even pay rebates when you buy energy-efficient appliances. Your conservation helps all GEUS customers. In the future, we will need to build new electric generators, and this can be expensive. And with our population growing, we will need that power. That's why we give rebates for Energy Star appliances. So think about replacing your bulbs with super efficient LED bulbs or adding insulation to your attic. Together, we can help all GEUS customers by doing our part. Check out our rebates online, and remember, GEUS is always ready to serve and assist you in any way we can.
Okay, start of the fourth quarter here. Redhawks in control, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Hand off to the running back. Oh, my goodness, somebody burst through there and just slammed that man down for a loss.
And that was number 18, Jamorion Hamilton with the play, and he's a sophomore. We've called his name several times tonight, and that's a good thing for the young guy. He's got a bright future on this Lions team for sure.
Yeah, that was another sophomore, Lavender. That was a rude way to get your first carry of the year. Holy mackerel, that's a loss of 2.5, 3 yards. Be 2nd and 12, we'll call it. Great play by Hamilton. Lion defense is really playing some ball tonight. And once again, they're there for nickel, but nickel slides past a couple of the tacklers. They were so anxious they ran right past the running back. So nickel picks up about 4 yards. We'll call it 3rd and 8 for the Liberty Redhawks, who trail in this one 28-2. Quarterback Jacob Nichols looks like he's a little bit shaken up after that run.
Yeah, and with good reason. It looked like about 3 or 4 Lions that jumped on him there, and I'd be pretty shaken up too after that play.
I love the way that Coach Sellers is rotating his defensive players. Nickel in shotgun formation, man in motion, takes the handoff, trying to come around the near side, and it looks like he's going to be brought down for a loss, and that's Gibson again, isn't it?
Yeah, Jaden Gibson, the 5'10 junior defensive back there, making the play on the sidelines, and I think they're pretty wise to run the other direction from Parker on that play, but Gibson was still there to get in the way, and so it didn't really matter at the end of the day.
Well, the Lions have done a good job all night long of stringing out the wide plays. They've been hurt on the off-tackle plays more so than the wide plays. 4th down, again, short punt formation, and Nickel kicks it not very far.
Yeah, and it looked like the way he turned, it looked like he was kicking it out of bounds.
I think he's hurting. He's limping off the field. He's not right. I think he might have gotten his bell rung a little bit.
Might have, and hopefully it's nothing serious, but be interesting to see if they run him out there after this, given the score and given how much time's left in the game. And they've still got a long season ahead of them. I mean, this is still just preseason. We're not even to district yet.
Yep. Yeah. 9:53 remaining as this clock is moving, as Bentley indicated early, moving fast. Lions take over on offense. Anthony Johnson gets blitzed. Quick throw out to Peyton. Peyton gets a good block from his fellow receiver and picks up a first down for the Lions before he's forced out of bounds.
Yeah, and that looked like number 16, Lavender, there on the play. So we've seen him get a couple runs, but there we see him on the defensive side of the ball making a play.
Yeah, and Flayfield got a good block for Peyton that time. Now he switches sides, this Jet Fifield. Split out to the right, I think is Nathan Michelle. Trip receivers to the left. Unusual formation for the Lions. Johnson's now going to try to run, almost tripped up, breaks a tackle. Ooh, man. I thought maybe his leg was going to get trapped, but he picks up maybe 3 or 4 yards before he's brought down. It looks like the Lions tried to use a trick formation with the 3 receivers all together, and it was simply a keeper all the way.
Yeah, and that you see that every once in a while, and it worked pretty well there. And, he's a big guy, hard to take down for sure.
Second, we'll call it 6. Quick pass out. Nice spin move by the receiver. Didn't get the blocks that time from his fellow receivers like he did before, but does get positive yardage.
Yeah, and that was number 10, Dadrian Payton, on the play there. And I think it's safe to say, Bob, that Payton is probably his favorite target to go to.
I think you're absolutely right. He's been targeted multiple times tonight. Johnson this time hands to Washington. Washington's got some room. Penalty is on the play as Washington goes into the end zone. I think that one might come back. And now we got a little scrum in the end zone, and this is not good. This is what Coach Jackson definitely does not want.
And that was number 25, Washington there, that got into it, but his teammates got to him quick to get him out of there. And
did you see what happened?
Well, it looked like he kind of got run into in the back after he got into the end zone and didn't like that, and so he popped up and said something, and then they said something, and, well, then it kind of turned into a little bit of a brawl. But if you're looking back there in the back of the end zone, it looks like there's about 4 flags on the ground. So they started throwing them and just kept throwing them until they ran out of flags, it looks like.
Okay, there was a holding call initially, which will bring back the touchdown, and then there were multiple unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against both teams, which will be, in effect, a moot point.
Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to cancel each other out, but it's going to be interesting. We've got Coach Jackson talking to one of the refs, and the coach for the Liberty Redhawks talking with one of the other refs. So
I bet neither coach is particularly enthralled with the extracurricular activity there.
No, I think you're probably right, and they talk a lot in high school sports, especially football too, about good sportsmanlike conduct and everything, and that wasn't a very good example of that. So I'm sure those coaches will have some things to say with those boys, and might be some running in store in practice tomorrow.
Maybe. Could be. Could very well be. But I got to believe, having spoken to Coach Jackson and only met him a couple of times, talked with him on the phone a couple of times, I got to believe that he's not going to be happy with the way things have transpired tonight. He's going to be happy with the W, but he's not going to be happy with what's happened down on the field, extracurricular-wise. Okay, we're back to a 3rd down and 12 for the Lions. Handoff this time. That might be Jaden, and there's another penalty.
Yeah,
that was Jaden Johnson, I think, on the carry.
I think you're right, and see what that penalty call was for.
Personal foul face mask against the Redhawks. So that'll be a 1st down, I believe, for the Lions.
I believe you're right.
It was a 3rd and 12. That's a 15-yard penalty, if I'm not mistaken. That's a big call against the Redhawk defense, which was, they were struggling. They were causing the offensive club of the Lions to struggle a little bit, and now the Lions will have a 1st down at the Redhawk 15-yard line. Anthony Johnson hands to Johnson, and Johnson has just a little bit of yardage off right tackle. They're just burning the clock now.
Yeah, they are, and I mean, I understand why. Just a little bit over 7 minutes left and a 26-point lead. There's really no reason to score here, but you don't want to just give the ball away either, because You don't want to give him the ball with this much time left on the clock.
2 receivers wide right, 1 to the left. Johnson is going to throw. He's got 5 field. Nice catch. Quickly covered by defenders for the Redhawks. Looks like he's short of the first down, maybe by a couple of yards.
Yeah, and if it had just been number 4 on that play, he might could have busted loose. But right as he looked like he might have been about to get loose, there were about 4 more Redhawks get over there and keep that from happening.
3rd and 2 Lions are quickly to the line of scrimmage. Johnson gets the call, gets the carry, is fighting for yardage. It's not going to make any difference. There's another flag against the Lions, I believe. Boy, we've had a lot of penalties.
We have,
My
and
goodness.
that's going to be something that I have a feeling both coaches are talking to their boys about tomorrow. It's hard to make progress in a ball game when there's a penalty getting thrown on every play.
And that's a particularly difficult one to swallow because, wait a minute. I miscalled that one. That's not a holding call against the Lions. It's a penalty against the Redhawks, which moves the ball to the 3.5-yard line. First down, Greenville. Johnson on the carry, swarmed by 3 red-shirted Redhawks. Clock down to 6:30 as the Lions try to move into the end zone for the 5th time tonight. Boy, they just don't waste any time getting to the line of scrimmage. Anthony Johnson fakes this time and keeps it and walks into the end zone for a Greenville touchdown.
Yeah, and he walked in pretty much untouched, but I'm not sure they would have been able to stop him even if there had been a guy standing there waiting on him. Johnson just, in that situation, I see him just kind of running through whoever's there.
Fake to Johnson, and that really drew everybody. It drew everybody on the Red Hawk defense, and Anthony Johnson, big old AJ we'll call him, he had an easy road, 4 or 5 yards to the end zone for the touchdown. 34-2 right now before the placement. Jet 5 field will do the holding just on the kick. Kick is up. Kick is good this time. Nick just converts. Makes the score 35 Greenville, 2 for the Liberty's Redhawks. We'll take a break and be right back in 30 seconds. Okay, we got the countdown from Chris. I'm Bob Muty. My cohort is Bentley Love, GHS graduate, class of 2023, now a sophomore at Texas A&M Commerce, and his friend Reagan Goggins kicks the ball off, and it's fumbled, and this time maybe the Lions got on that one.
Yeah, it looks like it, judging by the excitement from the Lions visiting sideline. And, you always see that when there's a fumble, but there was a little bit more certainty behind that excitement.
That might have been Tyler Trexel on the recovery. Let's take a look. We've got the replay on the video board. Redhawks having all kinds of trouble. And that is Trexel on the coverage. Oh, man, that's a big play for a youngster.
Yeah, and just coming off the touchdown pass there, or the touchdown play there, it's going to be a good field position here with the ball sitting at the 35-yard line with Johnson back in shotgun formation.
It's really deflating for the Redhawks. Handoff this time to, I think that might be Caden Waters on the carry.
Yeah, it was number 47, Caden Waters, and we've got a sheet here with people's position, and he's just listed as a DB, so interesting to see him get the play there on the offensive side of the ball, but he was able to pick up a few yards, it looked like, maybe about 5 yards.
We're seeing a lot of guys playing different positions, and there's a lot of substitutions in and out, so I think Coach Jackson's doing a good job of using his personnel. Second down, we'll call it 5 yards. Waters gets the handoff again. He takes a hard hit, but he goes forward. for positive yardage.
Well, in talking about using different guys, I think that truly solely has a lot to do with the fact that it's still non-district games, so kind of preseason thing and really figuring out what you got, because you never know what you might have to run out there regular season if somebody gets hurt or something like that.
Right. Waters has got good size. They lifted him at 6'1", 195 pounds. Third down, we'll call it a long 4. Waters gets the call again, breaks to the outside, and gets good yardage and moves the chains for the Lions. Good job by the guys on the right side.
Well, and if Waters keeps making plays like that, he might get himself some pretty regular snaps on the offensive side of the ball.
And that's a different offensive tackle. Can you get the number on that right tackle?
64 or 54? I can't quite tell.
It's a little tougher with the Greenville shirts, but here's Waters again. Boy, he runs into somebody and tries to bowl him over, and Lincoln Daniel made a good hit there.
Yeah, and I think Waters might have gotten a little too excited on that play. He tried to just run right through him, but old Lincoln Daniel wasn't having any of it and just kind of stood him up there and like running into a brick wall kind of.
Well, that's the 4th consecutive carry by Waters, so maybe he's getting a little bit tired. 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Clock running. Anthony Johnson still in there at quarterback. Oh, and there's a stoppage of play. Whistle on the play and a timeout by Liberty. Chris, you got something for us for about 30 seconds?
When GEUS first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. GEUS, delivering high-speed...
Lion fans, we got 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go before we can secure this victory, although I think it's pretty good, Bentley.
I think it is too. Now, you can't ever count it before it's over.
Caden Waters gets the handoff and gets treated rudely. And we've got a new quarterback in there. Nathan Michelle is taking over for Anthony Johnson. I think that's a good call.
I think so too. And Michelle, he's one of the backups, second or third string quarterback for the Lions. And so it's good to see somebody else getting in there, and because you never know when he might have to step in there in a real game.
And it's interesting because he's a starting H-back and backup quarterback. This time he hands the ball. And good yardage this time. Up past the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 4th down. And about, we'll call it 6 yards to go for the Lions. We're seeing some folks in there that don't get a lot of playing time. We think Mauricio Enriquez is in there at right tackle.
And it looks like the Lions are going to go for it again with 4th and 5.
Yep, Nathan Michelle at the quarterback spot. Is that Cody Waldrop? He fumbled the ball? Or is that Waters still?
That looks like Waters.
Okay, the 4th down run is unsuccessful, so it'll be a turnover on downs for the Lions. But they did manage to run seconds off the clock. 2:47 remaining here at Toyota Stadium on a beautiful night for football. We've had a good time. We had good barbecue over at Rudy's, and we're thankful for that. And we're thankful for this ball game that nobody's been seriously injured, and that the Lions look like they're going to have a fun bus ride home, Bentley.
Yeah, boys will be rocking on that bus for sure on the way home, and with good reason. 35-2, that's a pretty big win.
Looks like the backup QB into the game for Liberty. Hands the ball off, and that might be Eason on a short carry. Pick up maybe a couple of yards. Looks like the Red Hawks are headed to their 13th consecutive defeat. It's got to be a tough pill to swallow for the program.
Yeah,
So,
and you know, for the sake of their team, I hope they snap that soon, but I'm glad it wasn't tonight against us. I'd like to get the win ourselves.
I'm with you on that one. 2:15 remaining. Clock counting down. Handoff to running back, picks up good yardage.
Looked like number 16, Lavender, on the play there. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Yeah, he's the one that got so rudely brought down in the backfield by Jamorian Hamilton earlier in the game. So Lavender picks up a first down. Is that Trey Laurent at quarterback, number 3? I can't identify that number. 1st and 10 for the Red Hawks. Dropping back, looking downfield. Broken pass, broken up nicely.
And that was
And now we got another mess, another scrum, and this is not good at all. Coach Sellers is out there, and tempers are getting a little bit short. And Coach Jackson's visiting a little bit with the offending player. We'll see if there's a penalty on the play. It looked like both guys were kind of getting after it like they were in a boxing match.
Yeah, and you know, you like to see some hard hits whenever it comes down to the football game, but that stuff doesn't always need to come out, especially not on a high school field.
Yeah, I think we got a little frustration working on the part of the Red Hawks. I mean, as we said a minute ago, when you lose 13 straight, you can't be real happy when you're down 35-2 late in the game, and I don't know whether something was said or.
Well,
looks like offsetting penalties against both clubs. Maybe, I don't know whether we had an injection or not. Did we say any ejections there?
I didn't see him signal for any, but be interesting to see. It looks like most of the same guys are still out there. Might be somebody new out there. I'm not sure I saw Cade Cole's number 40 out there on that last play, but he looks like he's being slotted in at left end on this play.
Well, the referees have been busy tonight for sure. And,
they have. There's a reason they're at this game, and they've been doing their job. That's no doubt.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's going to be number 9, Kai Bunting, the sophomore backup QB for the Red Hawks in the backfield, and get him some good reps here with the last minute and a half left in this game.
Good call, Bentley. Okay, 2nd and 10 for the Red Hawks. A high snap handled by Bentley. Hands it off to Eason. Eason tries to get away, and the Lion defense just hangs on. Sampson on the tackle. He with the white towel sticking out of his back of his breeches. Now Sampson probably done for the night. Get somebody new in there. Now we got somebody else in there with the towel in the back. Sorry, somebody else has decided they want to be like Jonathan Sampson.
Not a bad player to play like, no doubt.
Pretty good example, absolutely. Good kid. All right, 3rd and 10 for the Red Hawks. Bentley drops back. Now he's got a little room to run. He's scrambling. Going to go forced out of bounds. It's getting a little chippy down there. And that was Jamorian Hamilton on the play. And the Greenville guys have to remember. Hey, I like Bentley. You know, you're my partner. Okay, it's Kai Bunting. You know, like bunting in baseball. But, you know, Bentley sounded so good, Bentley, you know. Okay. Kai Bunting now drops back in punt formation, gets a low snap, and the poor guy is going to be thrown for about a 15-yard loss.
And that was looked like number 15, Tyler Trexel, and number 40, Cade Coles on the play there. And they brought him all the way back to the 20, it looked like.
Kent Bentley, when it rains, it pours.
It does. It does.
You know, we got the broadcasters having trouble identifying players, and now we got the players that get a low snap, and, you get thrown for a loss, and it's a turnover on downs.
Well, we got a flag on the plate, seems like just about every other play.
Yet another, I wonder if they're going to call the game. Gee, many crickets. Tempers are really, they're pretty hot down there. And, if I'm Coach Jackson, I'm going into the victory formation and get out of here.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I mean, with less than 30 seconds left on the clock, there really isn't a need to run another play here. And so, but we'll see what they do. And
Lions are coming out. Michelle's going to be taking the snap from the shotgun formation. Late entry onto the field, and it is indeed a victory formation. Takes a snap, kneels down. Clock running. They've got to call another play because there were more than 25 seconds remaining, but it looks like that's going to be the ball game. Both teams running off the field. Hopefully we'll have a sportsmanlike shaking of hands at midfield, and the Red Hawks are lining up to do that. Here come the Lions. They're crossing at midfield. No fisticuffs, hopefully. Lions win this by a score of 35-2 over the Liberty Red Hawks. So the Lions go to 1-1. We'll have an update if Bentley can get it on the West Mesquite Poteet game here before we go off the air. But a much better performance execution-wise on the field by the Lions. There were some things that were not so good, lots of penalties and some tempers flaring that we've got to get under control. We just don't want that.
Yeah, and Bob, I agree with you. And that stuff comes with the territory of playing high school sports. But like you said, it definitely does need to be gotten under control. And I'm sure that's something that Coach Jackson will cover with them and definitely help them out. So I do have a score here for y'all of the West Mesquite Poteet game. In the third quarter, West Mesquite is leading Poteet 17-14 still at the Memorial Stadium, and so hopefully they'll hold on to that lead as Poteet's one in our district and West Mesquite's not. So hopefully they'll hang on to that win.
Absolutely. It's kind of a crosstown rivalry down there. Well, we'll take a short break. Give us a minute, Chris, and we'll be back to wrap this one up.
Greenville became the first municipally owned public power electric utility in Texas in 1891, when privately owned companies were only interested in serving large cities such as Dallas and Fort Worth. Greenville citizens took destiny into their own hands and began producing their own power. Today, more than 130 years later, GEUS continues to provide this vital service to our community. Public power has a long history nationwide of supplying electricity to communities when investor-owned utilities wouldn't or couldn't provide this crucial service. The nation's 2,000-plus community-owned utilities currently supply power to millions of people in 49 states and 5 U.S. territories. The communities range in size from being very small to the largest public power system, which is owned by citizens of Los Angeles, California. San Antonio is the second largest city in the U.S. receiving public power. Municipally owned, public power utilities answer directly to their customers. Decisions are made locally by citizens of the community. Because public power utilities are owned by their communities and are not motivated by profits, rates are typically lower than investor-owned utilities and reliability is higher. Public power utilities value providing local customer services such as local offices with pay centers. GEUS is a public power utility. That means your utility is community-owned and not-for-profit. GEUS is proud to be your local public power utility.
And welcome back, y'all, after that break. As y'all saw, the Lions did go ahead and finish off the Red Hawks here with the score of 35-2. Y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Next week, we will be back at home as Chapel Hill will be coming into town on September 8th. It's going to be a home game for the Lions. Game time start will be 7:30, and that night we're going to be representing Lamar and Crockett Elementary Schools. Bob, you go ahead and take it away.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want to see a really good football team, Tyler Chapel Hill out of 4A, they go deep into the playoffs every year, and they are really good. It'd be interesting to see if the Lions can hang with them for a while. I wouldn't expect that the Lions are going to get a W next week, but they're getting better every week, and if they get better than they were tonight, next week, they might be able to give Chapel Hill a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and no doubt Chapel Hill, they are, like you said, they are a 4A school, but they're one of the best 4A schools in the state. So size doesn't always say much. Sometimes those are some of the best programs.
They've got some kids down there that they look to me to be Division I prospects. They're really good, and they're well coached and well disciplined. A couple of things I want to mention here before we leave you folks, and that is, this is a very positive program that Coach Jackson has brought to Greenville. And he's got a program on game day at 7:30 in the morning called Lion Dads. And he's got several individuals, men in the community, who have stepped up to the plate to come and be with these players and mentor them, connect with them, and try to help them develop their character, if you will, off the field. Give them some life lessons. Give them some encouragement. I had the opportunity to go this morning, and I'm going to be working with Jonathan Sampson and Mario Valentine. I've got their phone numbers. I sent them texts, and I'm going to be encouraging them. I'll be going every game day morning at 7:30. They meet in the weight room at the field house. And I would encourage you, men in the community. I've already invited Bentley and Chris to come, and I want David to think about it as well if he can get up that early. This is a worthwhile program, and it's going to do nothing except build the Greenville football community and the community overall. So if you can make it out, men, 7:30 next Friday morning at the Greenville Fieldhouse. I'm sure Coach Jackson would love to see you. And one other thing, don't forget, tomorrow afternoon at 4:30, the Lions volleyball team, Lady Lions, will be taking on Prairie Land in the gym at Greenville High School, and that'll be covered exclusively by GEUS and on YouTube. So from Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, for my colleagues Chris Mangual, Bentley Love, and, of course, David Claiborne, I'm Bob Muty. God bless you, folks. Good night.